found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of Hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of Hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook.
Wherever you go, you can listen to the news. You can swing with the blues on this wonderful, wonderful station. Just take a lively companion
Wherever you go,
Take a
portable radio. Take a portable radio.
Now, here comes the music.
I guess the new time just to start the show is just going to always be a quarter after the hour. I don't know. Maybe eventually we'll get back to the top of the hour like the promo says, but I can't guarantee that. I just run the show. Hi, everybody. I'm Clayton McKee. It's the show on Q Talk America. That is, oh, look at there. There's Kat Carlson.
Here I am.
That one's Al Perkins. It's a lovely shade of that shirt. It's a teal.
I know it's.
Oh, it's the same color as my Siamese gummy bears. Look.
It
Oh,
is.
what is that you've got?
It's a birth defect.
Can you
There's
hold those in front of the
Siamese.
camera? I am Siamese. Look at this. Look at the little Siamese
I am Siamese.
formed together as one. Look at that.
Oh my gosh. Gummy bear
All
fusion
gummy
over
lives
here.
matter.
Well, yeah. As long as you save me the purple ones.
Oh, I forgot you guys had a new batch as of last week, right? I forgot about that.
Something like that.
Something like that. Well, of course, Marnie is on the way, so she'll be here in a few minutes. Kat's got her volume up on our Surface, so we're hearing the repeat of the show. It's
That
great.
wasn't me. I don't listen to the show.
Well, no, nobody else really should at all, period. However,
You do.
I
Oh,
was.
But Bear is listening.
I
Can't
wa-
chat though.
Hi,
But he's
Bear.
in the
Oh, that's lovely.
YouTube room.
I was going over stats again because I was uploading and doing stuff with our 24-hour feed. It's really interesting. I do go back and look at how many people listen. It's really interesting to see that certain shows really get a lot of listeners, some don't. But overall, like people are listening all over the place. It's the craziest
Korea
thing.
one is
That
good.
Korea, one person just listened in Korea. I hope they're happy with it. I assume maybe it's a well, no, it wouldn't be a military base, would it? Do we have? I don't know if we.
I think we're still in South Korea, but I never remember.
That's true. We are.
Probably. We're everywhere.
We never pull out. Let's just say it.
Wow.
It's true.
The war that never ends. So anyhow,
Oh my god,
But-
more Siamese gummy bears. They must have melted.
Chernobyl.
Well-
Chernobyl bear.
Chernobyl bear.
well, I don't. During the week, I don't have the AC on in this room. It's kind of an ambient temperature, so I don't know if they
Oh, so they melted.
Must be
if
it.
it
They
causes
fused
them
together.
to fuse.
And very strongly so, like not just gently, like they're
But it's not been that
pretty
hot.
strongly attached.
It's not been that hot yet.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe they melted on the way here at some point.
Hello, Anan. Hi,
Like 100.
Mom.
What's up?
In the old chat rooms up there.
Hello.
Well, we've all managed to. Like I said, Marnie's on her way here. I think everything else is going to gently come together. But I felt like there was something I was going to mention right off the top, and I forgot what it was. But it's not Nurses Day. It's just a day that they were celebrating nurses, correct?
Yep. Nurses Week is the second week of May. It's easy to remember because it's right by my birthday. Because it turns out Flo Nightingale and I were born very close together, same century.
Oh, lucky.
Well, on Mother's Day, your birthday, like everything's right there all around nurses. Easy.
Easy to remember.
Mm-hmm.
But they Chipotle does this every year. Everybody gets weirded out because it does. They always think it's around Nurses Week, but it's not. And oh my goodness, just buy one get one free, bowls, burritos. It's just a nice little perk.
A little gesture
For
for
one day,
all the
yeah.
good nurses. And you said that the hospital just gets bombarded with everybody's
Oh, my
messaging
gosh, yeah.
and talking about it. No, that's cool. I'd take it.
I mean, I put it in my calendar.
Well, you should. Things like that.
But get a burrito. But I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna eat there anyways. The food's delicious.
Yeah.
Why not get one of them free? Why not have them hand me money back?
Well, I have the little app. I collect the points when I go. It adds up little points, and you scan your phone and all that bullshit. So there's Marnie. Look at her slipping
Hello.
in. I don't sure. I feel like is there macaroni and cheese in the small cup?
Nope.
No.
But that would be Lux, right?
Uh-huh.
You're thinking of Lux?
Oh, anywhere. I don't care. Okay.
No, that's just half and half.
Oh, just half an
There
hour.
wasn't enough room.
Your hair
Nice.
is adorable.
Well, thanks.
What a cute cut.
Thanks. I'm wild right now.
She's wow. Now we're gonna be fashion police. That'll be fun.
I,
Yeah.
I haven't seen you.
Marnie's gonna change clothes in a minute and be a whole new person or
Right,
something.
I
What do
was
you
out
got?
last week, maybe.
She brought Tupperware for some reason. Oh, that's mine? Didn't realize. Don't know. It's actually, honest to God, it probably belongs to my mother, to be quite frank about it.
Well, then.
Don't even want to know what she put in the bathroom.
Mother,
then.
your Tupperware just came back from Marnie's house. So we'll get that back up to you someday.
Praise be.
Huh?
The roaches.
What? The Tupperware just came back from Marnie's
So you
house.
said the roaches, and I'm like, there are no roaches.
No.
Oh my god.
I don't know why. I don't know what you.
Alma.
Wow.
Yeah.
Check
Come
your
on.
battery.
Come on, Berta. Turn them up. Cheese and rice. The screen. Wow.
Went
okay.
from Tupperware to Roaches with no kind of correlation.
I want to get all forewarned. The roommate is in the house somewhere, so if you see him wandering through, don't be alarmed. He's here because it's his day off, and he's really got this down. I ran into him in the kitchen earlier, and I'm like, okay, you got a day off. You really take it seriously. He has not left the room.
Yeah.
He ordered Uber Eats. They showed up. He only came out of his room to get Uber Eats. That was it. He went back
As
in.
God intended.
That's it.
I've had days where I don't even do that. I leave the front door unlocked and I give them directions to the room that I'm, I'm reclining in. I
Wow.
call the guy when he shows up and I say, okay, so the front door's open. Living room's the first door on the right when you come in. Just drop it on the coffee table. Don't say anything else to me and then just leave.
You are kidding.
I'm not. I've done it.
It's all paid for, right? And tipped out?
No,
Yeah,
I
it's all
understand
paid
that, but
for.
it's just the idea of, well, I don't know how the driver feels about that. I'm in the living room. I'm on the couch. Like, what are you wearing? Like, what's the next question? I don't know. I feel like that's
I
just
don't
an odd.
do it
one.
like a creepy pedophile.
Yeah.
Well, no, but still, but like somebody saying, "I'm in the house. Come find me." Basically, is what you're doing.
I would like you to deliver the food directly to me. I don't think that's a problem. I tip generously.
I think that's very odd. An aunt, yes, Clayton at Clayton ? What can I? What? Huh? Is your roommate hot? Oh, right now, no, because the air conditioning's cranked down to 70. He's probably
It's
cool.
awfully chilly in here. Yeah.
It's lovely.
That's delightful.
Yeah. I could be more than happy to show a picture of him. He's a lovely gentleman named Carlos, who is in the West Wing, streaming some TV show, I'm sure, because he loves to watch shows on. That's all he does.
I got life well lived.
Yeah,
Right.
doing well,
Looking
doing
at
well.
people that approve this message.
Yeah.
I was asked recently about my ability to withstand long plane rides. I'm like, my Netflix training has proved quite apropos to a 13-hour flight. I've been able to sit still for a long period of time.
Oh no! Isn't it fun how some of those like lifelong
Turns
training
out it was just training. Yeah.
turns out useful, real useful.
Yeah.
These fucking gummy bears though.
So aside from gummy bear eating and directing strangers into your house, Kat, what have you been doing lately?
More well, I don't do the directing strangers into my house very often. It has to be a severe recovery day where I just cannot move.
Yeah. Had I known that was available, though.
And they happen. Oh sure, yeah. I just call them.
Had I known that.
Doors
was
open. Come on in.
I know. I'm afraid to get on. It's the beginning of the end when Grubhub gets on the radar.
What else have I been up to? We went to see Rent on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I work, and I made like 100 shirts today, and that's about it. I don't do anything.
I think you do more.
100 shirts is a lot.
Yeah,
I
that
felt like
seems-
a lot. Yeah, it seemed good.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah, got that done. So I've only got 200 more to do by the end of the week.
Wow.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Well, we can
Things
do
are
100
busy.
a day. Yeah.
Well,
What's our theme?
well, for shirts,
Yeah. Anything exciting?
no, just a good customer.
Yeah. That's great though. That's somebody needs that
Summertime,
many
they've
shirts. Yeah.
got summer camp programs and
Oh.
some merchandise tables that need to be stocked. So
Well, that's great, bro. Well, good for you.
I know. Thanks.
That's a big order.
I know. I'm excited about it.
Annette, going back to your thing, you asked about the roommate. This is there he is, lovely Mr. Carlos. That's it. You were curious, and I've fulfilled your curiosity.
All these gays, they look the same.
No, they don't all.
Yep, they do.
That guy on the idea show does not look like him.
Looks like 700 guys I know.
I'm not saying there's not a theme going.
There's like 4 subsets.
All the same.
Anywho, what the hell? There was something else going on over at the old Cobalt the other night. Oh, there was somebody was Facebook Live the whole show. Your show on Friday was
Oh, sure, yeah.
like
it's a lot of
pandemonium
fun.
over there.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's people all over the place. It's wonderful.
Oh, it was good. I like how you split they've got the
Well,
runway.
they have to have their runway. Sure.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah,
Those
that
queens
was
got to
by request. They gotta walk.
Wait,
Yeah.
what show is this?
It's as part of our new Shelter for Wayward Drag Queens program here at the Cobalt. When Club Volt closed down, there were some homeless queens that had a show and no home.
Where was Club Volt?
It used to be Nasty Habits.
The old ice picks. Nasty
Yeah.
Habits years ago.
Yeah, so they closed quite suddenly, quite recently.
Yeah.
And so they were kind of shopping around for a place to continue to perform, and we said, "Well, yes, come on over. We'd love to."
That's
so now
fun.
we have drag on Friday nights, and
It
it's
looks
fun.
like
People
it's
are
a
there. It's
full
well
house.
attended. Yeah,
Yeah.
They take table reservations, so we're almost entirely reserved every time that we're only on like 3 or 4 weeks in.
But hey,
No, but that sounds.
But yeah, we're full house reserved, and
And actually, based on that cast, that is a good show. Mm-hmm. I know because I do know those queens.
It's entertaining and high energy and not most of the time not too much talking, which is always my biggest critique of any drag show. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You're not that funny, and we don't care. And just bellowing the cast name 17 times, waiting for applause, is not hosting.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, there's very few queens in this town who can actually host a show.
Yeah, not too many.
That deserve to be on the mic too. So, I agree with that.
But yeah, like if you're doing a whole stand-up routine, and I mean some of them hit, some of them don't. But if you have somewhere to go, like if you have a point,
Right.
great. If you're just wasting time with a microphone in front of your mouth, shut up.
Right.
Just
And
play
then if you're, and
play
my
some
other thing is,
music.
if you're not good at customer interaction, like crowd interaction, don't do that.
Oh no.
Oh, please don't
Yeah.
don't engage.
And don't give the hecklers any more power than they need.
Right.
Like sometimes it's really funny to kind of back and forth with somebody, but most of the time just shut them down.
Yeah.
It's not their show either.
I mean, I don't go very often to those. There was one day that I was like, oh, honey, you're just just lip sync something because it just wasn't going well, and
Right.
And I felt bad because the crowd wasn't. She wasn't really good at the interaction, at getting them involved, and then they were just dead bodies.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh god, you need to hire better mourners.
Oh, I always say.
Oh, and I've seen a lot of people like terribly host, and
Yeah.
I've actually given
Oh.
a lot of feedback over the years. And like, okay, honey, this is what you don't need to do anymore.
Yeah.
Please stop.
And I
doing
always
that.
appreciate the queens who they know that themselves.
Yeah.
They come out, they do their whatever they're doing, and
Right.
they're out. They know better. I do appreciate that. But what I often see is the ones who come out and try to host, and they think they're funny or they're lippy or they try to do the little banter bullshit with people.
Right.
And then what will happen is that they don't realize that there's the three people sitting in the front row of that show are better at comebacks than she is, and then just bury her.
Yeah.
Right quick, and then but doesn't know how to
Doesn't know how to dig back out of it.
Abort mission and get off stage somehow tactfully, so it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. Are you a good DJ that knows when to play you off of the stage?
Oh yeah, I've done that multiple times too over the years, and we're gonna move on, and boom, we just go right to the next. Yeah, I had a few queens get really pissed at me years ago for that, but
Sure.
it's like, no, we're gonna move on.
Yeah. I mean, hosting's hard. I've done it a couple of times with different things, and it's hard. Like I get
Yeah.
it.
Sometimes it is, sometimes it's just a breeze. Depends on your audience.
Oh sure.
Yesma'am.com.
But yeah, you can always feel if it's not going well, and just abandon ship. Just do
Yep.
something different.
You're playing to mourners.
But no, our Friday show's actually really fun for the most part. Going quite well.
And what is it at 8? What time is it happening?
Late? No, it's at 10:30.
Oh, it's at 10:30.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a late Friday show.
That
That's
must
when
be
the
why I
happy
saw-
hours are really messy.
right?
That
Reverse.
happy hour crowd that doesn't go home and they meet up with the
Oh,
freshly
yeah.
showered going out for a late night
Right.
Friday. Oh, when those two crowds mix, that's always pretty.
It's quite the dramatic crash between the two. 'Cause I
Uh-huh.
don't know if you've
Oh.
been to Cobalt for happy hour lately, and then all the young like 23-year-olds that come out for the 10:30 show. It's a dramatic shift.
Oh,
Well, I think I
it's
know.
one of my. It's like the Titanic and the iceberg. It's one of my favorite things to see in life.
Well, that means I may have an appointment on Friday this week
Oh,
to
come
come
on
see
by,
this
sure.
because I would like to see that convergence.
Oh,
Luckily, there's enough time between the two that we clear most of the first crowd out before the second crowd comes.
but there's
in.
always those stragglers. I think
Oh,
they're
yeah.
really holding it together and
The
things are
50
going their way.
The
Till the-
50-year-olds
yeah.
that think they can hold
Till the
on.
freshly napped and powdered come out, and then you're like, wow. Is that dirt from where you crawled out of the grave? Because you just don't look good at hour 4 at drinking, like no matter what you're doing.
I don't remember
matter
saying
what age you
Beetlejuice.
are.
Except for James fucking Mobley.
And then I do
Shit,
have one
Smallwood.
more piece of just small local news.
Oh my gosh.
The Echo magazine nominates for some Reader's Choice Awards
Yes,
year
they
after
do.
year after year, and I have to check with Ashley and see if I've been nominated all years since. But I'm happy to be nominated yet again for the bartender category, so I'm very excited about that.
And somehow I made it into the host category
I
again.
saw that.
And I host fewer and fewer things
You
each
don't
year.
do shit, and you still get nominated.
Well,
I think
when
they're
you're
just
this
copying
good.
from.
When you're
I think
that
they're just
good.
copying and pasting.
right.
Honestly, I
When you're
think they
this
just got
good.
lazy over at Echo. They're like, well,
Oh,
who got
wow.
nominated
You
last
mean in the
year?
bartender category?
Sure. No.
Have we ever won?
No, it's not. It would be personally. I'm nominated, not for the podcast.
No, but in years past we were nominated.
Yeah.
Did we ever win one?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think
That
Utah ever
that
won.
plaque would be hung up in here. Trust me.
No. I won the first year I was nominated, and Zippo since.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to check. I think I've been nominated every year since.
I am the Susan Lucci of those awards. I went 10 for 10.
Did you?
No wins. Yep.
Susan.
Cocktail with the Angela Lansbury, if you will.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, we're now at an 11-year gap since my first nomination, so my gosh. But should you be interested and want to contribute to my vote tally,
I already did.
visit catcarlson.com and it will redirect you directly to the survey.
There were
Easy as can
many
be.
categories I could not offer an opinion on at all. I
Nope.
was like, well, I can't pick a winner there because I have no idea.
Yeah, well, and there are some that I don't really have an educated guess. So as I'm voting from all of my available devices, I was like, oh, maybe this one this time and that one that time, just kind of spreading out
Right.
the love. I don't
So somebody got a couple votes to feel good about themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to make sure everybody gets some.
And if I'm not mistaken, you can vote daily. Isn't it?
Oh, is it a daily?
I
I
believe
don't
it's in
know.
every
No.
24
Well, now
hours.
You've given her something to do.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of these people win, because you don't know. Oh my God, really? The fuck? I'm sorry, I got an alert from something on Facebook that
Oh my gosh.
we're on the 16th of June. There is, and I did not coordinate this. It was born out of somebody else's desire.
Vagina.
There is a
Most people are.
There is a Winx reunion show
Oh,
happening at Stacy's on the ill-timed Father's Day. I think it's an ill-timed. And we're doing it at 7 p.m. And I said, all those old people are not going to show up. So they bumped it up to 4:30, which still may be a little late, but they'll get a few. So anyway, so Davina's...
Go for 11 a.m. to get
early
those
bird
old guys.
So it's Davina's that has been pushing all of this and getting it. So the flyer poster came out today, and I guess it's been all over Facebook. And because Winx is tagged in it, and I own that page, I'm just getting hit from
Oh, sure, you're getting all the-
names from the past that I'm like, oh,
People that like, wow, you know how to use the internet?
I thought you were dead. Like people are showing up, you're like, or just on the message, like, wow, holy shit, where did you come from? So that's been interesting.
I love it. You gotta have that.
Oh, and Nan, I know you were just joking. For God's sakes, it's not my first day.
Second.
Right. Yes.
He's a quick learner.
So good timing. What'd you do last week?
Well, thanks. Good timing. Thanks. That's how I try to slide in. Well, went to Rent on Saturday. Went and saw Rent out at Gamage. That was my first time seeing it, and it was not what I expected. Not gonna lie, not as good as what I expected. And so that was, I don't mean disappointing. It's kind of like when somebody builds something up to
It's
be
been a
this most
long time.
this most amazing thing. And if you're waiting to see Anthony Rapp and Idina Menzel, well, you're not going to. And so that, I think, is part of it, because you've heard the music so many times.
And I was so excited to not hear Anthony rap.
Fair. No,
Right,
and
I
that's-
thought the music was
but
great.
Yeah.
that was
Right, yeah.
part of it for me. And so, and I'm not kidding. I, honest to God, thought Barbara Seville was up on the stage. Maureen.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when,
I've seen
and-
Barbara-
Really?
No,
okay, first of all, the
totally. When Barbara
35-year age
Seville-
gap between those two.
Yeah.
Nope. when all of a sudden I looked up, and I looked
Barbara
up,
does have that wig. I do
And
have
I'm sure
that.
she does.
Yeah.
I looked over at Jason, and I'm like, "That's Barbara Seville's." I said, "Sister." I'm like, "That's Barbara's sister." No, okay, shut up.
Daughter.
And
Teenage grandchild.
but I was like, "Oh my, holy buckets!" Just the shape of her face, the everything. It was really something
Yeah.
to me. So once you see that, you
can't
unsee
it, no.
right? And so every time I looked up, I just chuckle. I'm like, "Well, Barbara's up on stage. That's great." Has
Nice.
anyone seen her? Because she's right there. I see her. And I just wasn't.
Thankfully, I didn't see her.
Right. Exactly. Well, that's just it. Because Aaron's like, "No, I don't." Ah, shit. And then she did, and I'm like, "Good, I win." But we saw that, and I was excited to see it. So I don't mean to be.
And it was a charming story about Erin's student that she got to
It
take
was.
with her. I enjoyed reading that story.
And Brandy is. It was. We've talked before about Facebook and seeing people on Facebook and the years as they go by and whatever. Watching her from the time she graduated, because we've been friends on Facebook since even before she graduated high school, and now all of a sudden she's partaking in her, offering her words of wisdom to other people and what they put on Facebook, and just becoming an adult
Yeah, how fun.
and watching that. And so seeing her, she really was. She just lit up like a Christmas tree. Was so excited to.
Because she had
to watch
asked
it.
Ernie to take her to see the movie when the
Correct.
movie came out, but Ernie said she was too young.
Because Ernie, played the music all the time. She just had fallen in love with it. So then when the movie, it was like, oh, I need to see that. And Aaron's like, no, you are far too young. She was in 5th grade.
Yeah.
You are far too young. When you are 18, you can go see the movie. Or I'll take you after you turn 18 to the play or to the musical when it comes in town. And she held true. So
Yeah.
it was really wonderful. And they both were just adorable sitting there singing and, enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was really good. And the next afternoon, we went and saw In the Heights.
Oh, cool.
Out at Mesa.
Yeah, I saw they were doing that.
And it was their last show of the run from May 17th. And they were, it's a local theater. And I was just smitten with a couple of the people. They were really magical in
It's
it.
such a
and
fun show.
Yeah, it really is.
It is. But it, you critique and you kind of look at like, I don't know. And I didn't want to do that because I had just done that on Saturday.
Right.
Trying
You were
to-
exhausted from all
I
of your
was
judging
exhausted from
of the
being
very
judgy.
talented people on the stage.
Well, and to be fair, again, if you hear what I'm saying, it wasn't being judgy. This was not what I anticipated. And so when I went into In the Heights watching it, it was more magical. And I think because it was local and it was more intimate,
Oh, it's a way better show too.
it is.
Honest to God.
No, it is.
It's a way better show. I mean,
and the music just
10-year-olds could do In the Heights,
Yeah.
and you'd say, "Oh, well, that was way better
That
than
was
Rent."
way better.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, it was a lovely weekend of that, and just going on dates with my fiance and enjoying the weekend tremendously.
Very good.
Yes. The end.
Lovely.
I saw Rent as well.
Yes. And thought more of it than I apparently.
It's a show that's set in 1 minute. You know what I mean? It doesn't get updated. The costumes stay the same. It's set on that day in 1995. So much of the skeleton of that show was a chorus line.
Okay,
Of
right.
the
I remember you
simplicity-
saying that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they steal so much from a chorus line, except for the dancing.
Right.
But that is what the bones of it are. It's set that day. Like you could update a chorus line, but then the music would make no sense.
Right.
Where
Right.
you'd have to rewrite every song for different references. But the references are 1996, so there's a lot of those things that have lost their
Did they
bite.
change years as well? The 1997? Did they change the reference?
No, I mean whatever. But
No, I'm just telling. They changed it to, what was it? Or no, I'm lying to you completely. That was In the Heights. See, I'm getting them both
Yeah.
confused. I'm sorry.
Because In the
All of a
Heights
sudden-
is not set in 1995.
No, well, they changed it to 97 in the Heights.
Changed what to 97? Like it was set in 97?
Right, the hair for 97.
Because that seems like just a random.
like on purpose, or that was just choices.
Like I don't
purpose.
understand.
On
it.
purpose. Like
Oh.
they moved it 10 years ahead almost. That Aaron caught it that fast. I did not. It was interesting.
It was In the Heights supposed to take place in the 80s.
I don't think so.
Aaron said it was 80, like it said 87.
I don't think it
and-
ever references a specific time.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I don't know that show
I'll
that
find
that
out.
well.
I'm
But
going to
yeah,
find out.
I'm very curious.
My apologies.
So I mean, it was one of those things. There was a couple things that I just thought, okay, like we're left with a Newt Gingrich joke. Like
Right.
there it is,
Right.
just gonna
Yeah.
sit there.
Sure.
And there's things that were very funny at the time that you're kind of left with. But it's like any piece that's set in that time, you're kind of that's where you're locked in.
That's where you're at.
One of the things that made it so poignant in the day was the urgency of the issue.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we were losing the fight against AIDS
Sure.
so horribly and in such great numbers,
Right.
and it's such a loss to the community. Like that fight has changed so much. Like 23 years
Right.
later, it's a different struggle.
Right.
So that's one of the things that's kind of missing. And I remember somebody finding Mimi surviving at the end, back at the time, being like, "That's just such cruel false hope to give somebody." And I was like, wasn't that nice that like we can actually believe that now that she could
Right.
that she could survive. She will survive. You know what I mean?
It still comes across as dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel like an asshole doing it, but you're like, really?
Yeah.
She came back, she went down the tunnel, and Angel said, girl, go back. Bullshit.
Yeah. I mean,
Fucking
Right.
lives.
but she wasn't on a monitor.
That
First
ending
off,
would have been way more
wa-
tear-filled if she,
She
had
wasn't
just
on a
died.
monitor, and there were no medical professionals nearby. She could have just fallen asleep. We don't know that she actually died.
Sure.
Not one of
Yeah.
those homeless junkies
That's
knows what
fair.
the fuck they're talking
That's
about.
fair. But also,
Yeah.
should have just died.
That's the difference from 20 years later, too, is being like, you fuckers don't know she's
I don't
dead.
know if she's dead or not.
And you're
How
standing at her
is that?
feet. How do you know her fever broke? Touch her.
You won't pay your rent. What makes you think that you know any sort of life-saving skills?
I was just wondering, could rent and cats be merged?
That's just so insulting.
Oh.
No.
Because you've got the cats out and about.
No.
It just seems like they're all in the street.
They let the cat
I
out of the
know.
bag.
Oh, but that. And I'll get to it in entertainment, but cats is just atrocious. That's just a living
Well-
atrocity.
Wait, why do we have to talk about cats in entertainment today?
Oh, it's
What
there's
happened?
Funny stuff.
There's something in it. Okay.
funny
God
stuff.
damn it.
And then my dear friends Emily and Amanda got engaged and had a housewarming party on Saturday. And on a,
Congratulations.
Mazel tov.
what was started off as a lovely night for a bike ride, unless you had a backpack with 3 bottles of champagne on your back,
Which I saw him riding down the street.
and it was like just 100 degrees.
Yeah.
And I decided to wear a light colored shirt because you know it's the season. You want to wear something festive.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, with sweat coming down your back.
Yeah.
And lovely home.
Oh,
They're up
God.
by the Biff's Uncle Biff's Killer Cookies, so that was exciting.
There you go. Chocolate
So,
milk.
Carlos O'Brien, and the party was hosted, but was catered by Uncle Biff's
Nice.
and Carlos O'Brien's, which is such good food. And I took home a tray of beans and a very embarrassing ride home where I was like, I could take that tray. Well, first off, let's just have a life lesson,
Oh
ladies.
my
Was it
gosh.
Carmen Miranda like on your head?
Let's pens and pencils and pens and paper in hand to just write this one in ink. Your first urge to go home should be the urge to go
Should
home.
be when you go
Do
home.
not let anyone say no. Stay longer. Drink more.
Yeah.
What bad could happen?
Sure.
Oh well,
The trail of beans.
nothing bad happened in their home. It was a lovely time singing Rent songs,
Sure.
which is why the next day it was in my head because I'd been screaming them the night before. And then I took what looked like it was the right size for my basket, but was just a wee bit smaller, so it kind of wedged into the basket. And then the ride to and from their house was just about 1.5 miles longer than both ways than I really thought was appropriate. And the beans had bumps because it was a pan, a tin foil pan of beans, which are almost liquid. So as the waves of the ride and the beans are kind of cresting, and then they kind of went up over the barrier wall and plopped down onto the bike and onto the spokes and onto the fenders, and I was just leaving plops of beans like I was shitting my pants. Just riding down Central Avenue, and I was so drunk and so delighted by the whole thing and just giggling at every plop of beans.
This is such a twist on the Hansel and Gretel story.
Follow the beans
All
home.
right.
I was just so delighted.
It's a gassy witch, but she'll still eat you.
A whole new trail of tears.
Oh.
He's left.
The trail of beans.
Oh my gosh.
Funny.
Thanks for getting that.
Yeah, BuzzFeed. Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh my goodness.
Good gosh.
So that was quite amusing. Had beans.
So
left
wait,
on
so
my
did you
face.
make them with any beans?
Oh yeah, shockingly a
will
lot.
travel.
Okay, all right.
And then the best part, it was one of those firm foil lids that you just kind of, only the sides are the kind that you measure
Yeah.
that you do, but it's a sturdy lid. Well, it also went up like a sail.
Oh,
The
you're.
wind got it,
Oh
took
my
it.
God. Oh, to have been following you.
Yes, no kidding.
Well, once your car got hit by that aluminum lid.
It would have been like in the sweetest thing.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, just a wallop of beans. Did she just shit? What just came out? What came out of that bike?
Oh my God.
So pollution is real.
Oh.
So that was fun.
That's fantastic.
Honey, it's raining
Well,
beans. We gotta believe it.
Yeah,
We gotta believe in climate change now.
Yeah, right.
I saw him.
Well, is she
You're
gonna throw
full
a
of
tortilla?
beans. You're full of beans.
Well, on his way to the party earlier, I was at the Circle K there on Central and right here north on Central, and I happened to pull out and I ride out. I go, oh, there's somebody riding a bike, and I realize, what's Al Perkins? And he's pedaling feverishly, and it's one of those things. Sometimes when he rides, he's like this, the whole bike's going, and because it makes complete sense and it's safe to do, headphones in.
Right.
One hand on the handlebar, and the other one, I don't know if it's leaning on the handlebar, but he's texting at the same time. So I sent him
Ain't no law against that.
Right.
No. I understandable. So I sent him a text. I said, I just passed you on Central texting and biking. That seems safe. I'm surprised you're not at work on a Saturday. And his response is going to a house party. I said, 22 again. Good for you. So then I realized, well, I'm just adding to the problem because I'm texting him while he's riding.
Mm-hmm.
And then my friends, Lindsay and Mitch, who they used to live close to me, but now they live up 7th Street or 7th Avenue. So they're like, they picked what they thought was a halfway point, but none of us put the information from the invite. We've all just been planning on going, but nobody bothered to write down the address. We're like, well, we got to know where it is. It's their house. I'm like, oh, they just bought it. We've never been there. This is our invitation to the house. You need to make note of the new address.
Gotcha.
So we didn't have addresses. We weren't we met. We realized they had gone like a mile out of their way to meet me, and it just got kind of funny. And then not really thinking, it was a warm ride. And then Amanda and Emily turned the air conditioning down, but then they 35, 40 people in a house. Your house gets warm.
Yes.
So the three of us show up sweaty because they've ridden way further than they thought too. They went almost a mile out of their way south. I'm giving tours of the refrigerator. So I'm opening up the refrigerator and standing in there and pointing at the drinks so I can
This
cool
is the
off.
freezer.
Oh no! And it was the lower pull-out drawer freezer. I almost sat in it. I mean, I was so close to just perching my ass on an ice cube. And they're so lovely, but you just when you have a party that big and it hasn't been warm here,
Right.
so you don't. No one thought to pre-cool the house hours and hours ahead of time.
Sure.
So then, of course, it's beautiful at night here. So 8 o'clock at night, we open up the back door and you can hear everybody like, "Oh my God, it's so nice outside." They have this lovely backyard and. Can we just get all the body heat outside for a little while and compete with climate change?
Question: how much time lapse from the I should probably go home to the actual departure?
Oh, due to a lack of witnesses, we're not sure, but we're gonna go with 1 hour, Bill.
Oh, just an hour. In the butt, Bob.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're gonna say an hour based on how much drunker I was
that's
at the
not-
initial.
But that's not a lot. I thought you were
When
gonna,
measured in wine, it is.
Oh, all right. Gotcha.
When measured in all the
How do you
rosé
measure
that's
your
left,
life in wine?
all right.
525,600 liters.
Exactly. I'm 1,000 years old when measured in Sky vodka bottles. So you know how when you go to a party and everybody brings over the wine and you're looking at it and you're like, oh, let's open this bottle, let's open this bottle, and you kind of are picking kids for the softball team.
Sure.
So the shitty
yeah.
ones with the
We're
limp are
playing
kind of in the
dodgeball
back.
here.
Right? Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that last hour of the party.
I'm gonna
was
take that
definitely
Swedish kid that looks like he's
shitty
18.
one
Ones with the limp.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
substitute
have.
it with limp wrist, and it was me. So I mean,
Yeah. But
'Cause
the
I
one
was
with the
just gonna
lazy
run
eye's not
to-
going to be any good at this.
right? Exactly. The lazy eye kid's out. me who's just running towards the ball so I can sit down faster.
Right.
So if that hits me, I'm going to chase the ball. Isn't that the right thing?
That's how I win. I win.
I'm going
I
boobs
win.
first into that ball.
God, you are ringing Marty's bell today. Marty's. Wow.
Those training bras really protect you, though.
Didn't think we'd get into a dodgeball analogy, but here we are. So
No, dodgeball and breasts.
well, you can't have one without the other.
They really go together.
Once you stick your foot into dodgeball, the next one's just going into boobs.
The shitty one.
Wow. By the way, there is a local dodgeball gay league here in town, so you can join.
Dodgeball?
Yes, there is.
Shut up. I knew there was kickball. There's dodgeball.
My bad.
too?
I confused the two.
okay.
I'm sorry.
Totally
totally
different
different
animals.
animal.
Totally different
You got me
animals.
just enough to get up and get on my bike and find a dodgeball tournament. I was like, I have got to
Kickball.
go.
I haven't played
Not
a sport in
dodgeball.
25 years, and I thought about it. There's dodgeball in this town. Gonna take out some
But-
aggressions on some
I got a
motherfuckers.
wrench. I'm gonna throw the
But
wrench.
now I'm thinking opportunity.
Yeah, because I have so much time
We
to start a
can,
league.
we can start. Well, you can at least make the shirts for us.
I will be happy
You
to
have
make
your
the shirts
first
for it.
guaranteed audience member. I'll show up for every game.
Can we get a shirt with the training bra built in? Because
Can some have added support?
Yes.
we don't
yes.
leave. We have to have full support.
Yeah.
Right.
If that pin doesn't drop,
From
Yeah.
trainer to I've been oriented.
I'm quite certain we know enough queens that can sew. We can make our own custom shirts.
oh God,
here.
yes.
I'm calling Scott Tickler. That's the
There
only
it
one
is.
I'll trust.
There it is.
With her heaving bosoms.
Yes,
The only one I'm trusting.
I agree. Scott's a hell of a seamstress.
Now I'm a little disappointed that there's no,
I know.
there's no dodgeball. Not that I would actually join, but I would think about it real hard
No,
for
we
a
were
couple of
going.
minutes.
We were grabbing 2 beers and going to the dodgeball tournament.
What I feel
Right
like
now.
is
Right now, we're
what we
gonna
need to
watch
do
it.
is to have a couple people with cameras to film it, and we're gonna go to a park and we're gonna reenact it like Mad TV when Oprah and Kenny
Oh, yeah,
Rogers are in the
Jackass.
park. Jackass. We'll just do a dodgeball segment, edit it together. It'll be lovely. Our day
There's a
out.
couple people in town I wouldn't mind getting hit in the head with a soccer
A
ball.
pickup dodgeball game.
Yeah, pick up dodgeball. I wonder how many people would show up to that.
Just invite who you want to kick at.
Right.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Or throw at.
Sure.
either way.
There's some vengeful queens in this town. You could raise some serious money for
We're
charity.
gonna have to stock
Oh,
up on
good
Circle
call.
K cups for our cocktails, though.
Yeah,
Fair point.
I mean, fair.
I'm just saying.
I think I have a whole sleeve
I have
of
a
them
whole
at
shit
home.
ton of
Oh,
the
good.
Tervis cups, so I'll bring those. for
All
you
right,
guys.
yeah, we're gonna need some disguises for our booze
No, you'll
because
be
we
fine.
can't have it out in the open. I don't care what the laws even say.
No,
Like
I'm
it's
with
just
you.
it's,
Yeah.
it's not classy.
No, it's
Not
way better than having.
sportsmanlike.
I know, and
styrofoam.
drinking out of an icy styrofoam
That's
cup
right.
really classes that
It
bitch
really
up. Yeah.
does.
Classes that bitch up.
I think
Somebody
so.
walks by. Did you all go to Circle K? All 50 of you? Yes, we
All
did.
at the
Yes.
same time. You think we're gonna get 50?
I just meant I was
That's where we
thinking.
got the keg from
Who's
too.
throwing a hip?
I was thinking the camera crew. Like,
good
there's going
call,
to be,
good
you know,
call.
you've
Well,
got
we've
to
hired a
have.
whole crew now.
Oh, I'm envisioning the whole thing. It's all built up.
All right,
Coulter Park's right over there.
I'm in.
We'll get it figured out. It's all going to come
Sweet.
together.
You get like 8 of the right people on one side, you're going to have 8 contestants that really want to hit them with a ball.
I'm thinking we get 8 on the right one side. We're going to have
It's
32
you could
people
make
on
an
the other.
Instant grudge match.
Oh, wow.
It's
That's
fantastic.
true. Mm-hmm. I like it.
It's cheaper than therapy. I mean, it's a sport
It
that requires
depends on
a
who
ball.
gets hurt.
And
Sign a
ang- and
waiver.
anger.
And the ability
We
to
have to have
dodge.
And
waivers.
anger. No, no. Sometimes that doesn't
Oh, yeah, it's true. That was not what I was employing, so no, that's not required either.
Can you just stand still, please? Like, it's easier to hit you.
That would be me. Yes, I'm right here. I'll even eat more to make a bigger target. How do I get out of this faster?
Go to Chipotle again.
Take another swing through
How do I
Chipotle.
get
If
out
it's,
of this
catered,
fast?
if it's catered by Carlos O'Brien, can I please have a tray of beans?
I just need.
to sprinkle throughout the
shit on my
neighborhood
way
and bring
home.
some home.
I swear.
Bringing joy
I don't,
to all.
I don't think we could reenact that ride home from you if we could film it and just because I like the bumps
And
the
you know I
slosh
was,
of the
you know I
beans.
was singing too while the beans were flying.
Oh, of course you do. What were
Yeah.
you singing?
Oh, oh, it's probably still Rent.
Fly me to the moon.
Is there any good bean songs out there? I don't know. There's got to be somewhere.
I'm sure, but
Gotta be.
oh, that's funny.
Oh my
So
heavens.
what'd you do?
Nothing compared to you all. Jesus, you want me to try to top that story? Nothing exciting. No.
You've been nominated for a very important award.
Well, yeah, we talked about that, but that's not. I don't know.
It's still news.
That's really about
Some,
it.
some people listed on the schedule that we show up to this for,
Yeah.
so maybe they didn't hear you.
I bought
there
that
you
with you in mind. I was hoping that would be sufficient for your moisturizing needs
Oh, my moisturizing
because
elbow.
it's got almond and shea butter.
I know it doesn't smell like either, but I don't know what shea butter smells like.
Well,
so that
nobody's
might
really
be
sure,
it,
but
yeah.
it's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we keep
Smells
it.
delightful.
For those of you not watching and listening, there's a bottle of hand lotion on the because we all wash our hands so damn much they just dry out.
Yeah, and I am addicted to lotion.
Yeah, has to be. What happened, Kat? What
I
happened?
found a list of songs with beans in the
Well, let's hear some of them. Come on, not the song, but like what are the titles?
Titles include Hot String Beans by Buddy Rich, Joe Bean by Johnny Cash, Cowbells and Coffee Beans by Henry Mancini.
I think I'd like that one.
Oh.
Open a Can of Human Beans.
No.
That'd be by XTC.
We were mentioned in the lyrics of La Vie Boheme.
Oh, that's true.
XTC.
Me and the Bean by Spoon. More Johnny Cash, Beans for Breakfast.
Oh.
Me and the Bean sounds like a lady masturbating, right?
Yes.
I was
Yes,
hoping just to
it
You
avoid
really
that.
can't unsee that one either, can you?
Nope.
Try not to.
Try not
More
to.
Johnny
Right
Cash.
in the right.
Johnny Cash had a thing for beans because
Yeah.
here's another song. Look at them beans.
Well, I think we know why he has the Ring of Fire now.
Couldn't leave the beans alone.
Series A and B
played.
may be related.
The Jimmy Bean song, as performed by Haley Mills. The Heinz Baked Beans by The Who. Sprout and the Bean by Joanna Newsom.
are a
Pork
lot of-
and the Beans by Weezer.
Okay. This is Cowbells and Coffee Beans.
Ray Charles sang a song called String Bean.
Don't recall
Oh,
that.
yeah. Yeah, you'd know it if you heard it.
Okay.
Black Bean Soup by David Soul. Beans in My Ears by Pete Seeger.
He's
He
was
so
not
high.
right, yeah.
He was
And
so
topping
high.
off the list,
Yeah.
We Seen Wee Bean
Oh, is that a foreign
by
language
the
film?
band Ween.
Oh,
Oh.
Ween the Bean. Ween Bean.
We
Yeah,
Seen
masturbate less.
Ween Bean by Ween.
You need
I
to
like
wean
it.
the bean there, lady.
I like it.
So should you need songs,
You need to wean all that bean. No,
There we go, this string
I
bean.
got nothing.
Oh.
Hi, Harrison.
Good morning.
Ah.
can't go wrong.
Hello, Harrison.
So the next time you're dribbling beans
I have a host
down
of songs.
7th Avenue,
Oh,
you've
come
got
on,
an
yeah.
entire playlist.
Dribbling beans.
Jeez.
That'll be the new song that we'll make up. Dribbling beans.
Dribbling beans.
Dribbling beans.
And he thought me ride my bike like this?
He does.
Bad.
A little bit of a Native
Because when
American
he's
flair,
really
and I want it to be
cranking,
called the Trail of Beans.
It goes around, he's really going, and you just see like this. Yeah.
And it's hard with that backpack full of champagne.
Well, sure.
That was heavy. Like there was a
I
rest
believe it.
portion. Well, we tried to figure out where we were meeting up, and the fact that neither one of us had the address to the party.
You know, actually, this isn't the first time you've told a story about trying to go somewhere and you didn't have no. In fact, I think at one point you may have called. You were out of town. You were in L.A. and you called me to go to your house and take a picture of an invitation on your table
To the way, yeah.
to the wedding, right?
Yep.
Yes, that was a couple years ago, but I recall that.
I like it.
Oh, that
Going
was.
to a wedding in La Jolla. What more information do I need? All of it.
How-
Literally all of it.
How big can La
Time,
Jolla be?
place,
Just stop at a
names,
corner. Somebody knows
where
where
are
it
they
is.
registered for
Yeah.
a gift? All the
Hello,
literally
La
everything on
Jolla
that piece
native.
of
Do you know
paper.
where tonight's wedding is?
Right.
The
Ki-
one.
Kind
The one,
sir
right.
from La Jolla.
Because the best part is the
Kind
Saturday
La
of the wedding,
Joyan.
all up the Seal. I was saying the Beaver Coast. The Seal Coast
Oh,
was just way
God, we're
different.
We're flicking a
different.
bean, and you've got
I got a
there's
beaver.
All the animals.
beavers and beans.
Dodgeballs
It's called
and breasts. I mean,
Dinosaur
these are
Weekend,
things
and
always
it's
go
not on the
together.
coast.
It's not on the co- It's more towards Oregon.
Keep Oregon weird.
Be afraid.
All right, what's next?
Oh,
Well,
Well, that was that was
mercy.
Oh my God! I was gonna say something and I've lost. I forgot what the hell it was. So I don't know, but it's all right. We'll move on and we'll figure this out. I hope everybody's ready for what we're gonna do next. And if not, well,
Are we ever
no, God no. Who? There's no
Silly.
production meeting.
so silly?
We don't want this. We want this. We want this. I gotta click that and click that. Oh my gosh.
So it seems from what, and I don't know how to pronounce it. Eid Mubarak is the end of
Eid Mubarak.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
I don't know. I'm just
The
making
end
it
of
up.
Ramadan 2019. So Anant is celebrating and wishing it to
Oh,
us.
very
And
Oh
nice.
my God. Well, I saw there's something on the calendar that says something on this day at sundown, and I don't know what that. I didn't know what that meant, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that one.
My calendar said it for the 3rd, but mine has it pronounced differently.
Mine
My-
is Eid al Fitr.
Mine too. So
Yeah, EID as he has it there, and then AL dash
he said that word means happy.
FITR.
It seems,
EID.
seems to mean happy.
Okay.
Apparently,
So-
my calendar is racist and didn't tell me any of these things.
Super racist.
Fuck.
Because you know how you have that dot on your week that tells you there's something there, like open up the calendar, and sometimes Eid Mubarak. Okay.
Mubarak.
So
Oh, I said it wrong.
Yeah, no, you were
so
closer.
I've opened up this day like so many times, or yesterday, to be like, I don't know what that is.
What am I doing right?
Yeah,
No.
I don't know how to celebrate. Maybe I will.
Just fold the cheese in. That's all you
Yeah,
gotta
you
fold.
fold.
It
I
is
don't know
cheese
what that
day.
means. I don't know how to fold broken cheese.
It's National Cheese Day today, actually. So
I love
that
cheese.
that meme was all over the place. Well, let's see if we can pull this off. Come on.
Oh, crap.
Oh, it's the tease to hour 2. We're gonna do some headlines, talk about some stories, local and beyond. And here are some of our headlines. Well, they should just be killed out.
Tough times for He-Man, Master of the Universe.
Fuck Idaho.
Just show
Hey!
Sorry.
Just show Woody Harrelson.
What do you see?
Some other shitty story.
Just fuck the earth.
Passing white supremacy.
What? What?
I'm a bit insulted. Ducking out, and what a crock.
How do you keep getting more stories?
Yeah, right.
I have to fill in because I never know
I
what
have
you
a
guys
whole
are going to
bunch.
show up with.
2. We're
I
supposed to
have a
have
whole
2.
bunch.
Too.
All right,
two,
stand by.
two,
We're gonna do this.
Very impressed. Was not embarrassed at all. I thought I would be.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
Educates, syncopates, radio communicates, radio, the sound of year-round pleasure.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Well, boys and girls, welcome back. It's hour 2 on the Q Talk America Web Radio Network. I'm Clayton Rickey alongside Kat Carlson, Marty Ryer, and Al Perkins, rounding out our Tuesday night in studio. Love Fest is really what it is. We talked about spilled beans, songs about beans. There was a beaver topic brought up. More beans.
That's the same.
Beans and
Same-
beavers.
no, same
beans and
Beans
beavers.
and beavers.
That could be, if
in the bean
if we
with
were
the
still
beaver.
titling shows, that could be a...
Flicking the bean of the beaver.
I feel like there were beaver titles previously.
Oh yeah.
I'm
yeah.
sure.
We've had that.
I feel. Anywho, well, if you want to find out what we were talking about the beans and the beavers, listen to Hour 1. It's show 389A is what you'll be looking for after tonight. But now it's headlines. Well, as we mark Pride Month and celebrate how we have come as a community, how far we have come as a community. This story is
But
really
not in English.
a stark reminder that there's still a hell of a long way to go until we have completely stamped out bigotry. An Alabama mayor has called for the killing of LGBTQ people in a Facebook post, which, of course, he's now deleted, saying that it would be the only way to kill out the problem. I love how these fucking people don't realize... Oh, my God. It's like just saying that you could... If you just put all the gays on an island...
Right.
Yeah, it's called Manhattan.
It just drives me crazy. So anywho...
Still a great joke.
There's
So-
also fire.
Yeah, fire.
Carbon Hill Mayor Mark Chambers denied that he made his comments at first, but later confessed when Birmingham TV station WBRC provided screenshots of the comments and then read them back to him over the phone on the air.
Oh, good.
It came about after Chambers posted a graphic on his Facebook page which read, quote, "We live in a society where homosexuals lecture us on morals, transvestites lecture us on human biology, baby killers lecture us on human rights, and socialists lecture us on economics." A friend commented on the post with, quote, "By giving the minority more rights than the majority, I hate to think of how this country and my grandkids will live unless we somehow change it, and I think that will take a revolution." In response to that comment, Chambers says, and I will put his post up on the old screen there, he says, "The only way to change it would be to kill the problem out. I know it's a bad thing to say, but without killing them out, there's no way to fix it." When confronted about his
The same could be said for Republicans.
Yeah.
exactly,
Right back at you,
just
Mark.
put them all on an island. When confronted about his post, Chambers tried to deny it, and it was his. Denied that the post was his and then claimed that it was on someone else's page. He then quickly took that claim back, however, then saying that the message was intended to be a private direct message to a friend, saying, quote, "I never said anything about killing out gays or anything like that." Then the reporter read the message back to him again, and he supplied with, "That's in a revolution. That's right. If it comes to a revolution in this country, both sides of these people will be killed out." Anyway, WBRC reports that Chambers then got angry, complained about his privacy, and stated that his Facebook page wasn't for public, despite acknowledging that his page privacy settings are set to public. He later took the post down, changed his page setting to private. By the way, Chambers became mayor of Carbon Hill back in 2014 and leads the town of a whopping 2,000 citizens.
They're all.
So again, it's a big city, small city. They're everywhere. People like that are fucking everywhere, and the dumpster fire has just made more and more of this shit bubble to the surface.
Well, and
It was
he's
already
taking
there.
a page.
No, I
he's
realize.
taking a page out of douchebag in chief's
Right.
Yeah.
like playbook because
No,
I didn't say that.
It's called gaslighting.
Let me go ahead and
Yeah.
replay that
And a
for
gentle
you.
lesson in irony is always fun, too.
Yeah.
My Facebook page is private,
Right.
but it's set to public.
Yeah.
Incidentally, when you accept those terms of service,
Yeah.
you've actually given any statement that you make to Facebook. It belongs to them.
Right.
Doesn't belong to you. None of this. It's my Facebook. Nope. Belongs
It's
to
to
Facebook.
Facebook.
And
All your
even if you
photos.
delete your page,
Belongs to Facebook.
still there.
You clicked I accept.
Right.
The end.
But I mean, I'm saying, even if you've deleted it and you think that it'll never come back and bite you in the ass,
think
No,
we've all
because
learned
there's
that
the
from
Wayback
MySpace.
Machine that Rachel
Yeah.
Maddow keeps going to.
well, that too. But I'm just saying, even
Wayback.
though
That's what she calls it. There's a
website.
a server that's archiving real-time internet snapshots constantly.
It's
And
been moved to Canada.
It's been moved to Canada because they were afraid
Yeah.
that the U.S. would implode and take it down, so that we didn't have all of this information with all of the gaslighting that's happening. But there really is an internet archive. So if you think you've deleted something, no.
Nay, nay.
Rachel Maddow can get it.
That's right.
she can do anything.
She can do anything.
Anything.
Clayton's boyfriend's amazing.
Amazing.
Well,
I love it.
children of the 80s might remember He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Absolutely.
He-Man now goes by Natasha Bagley and was denied free French fries at a Burger King. That's right. In Florida, Miami-Dade, police say that two women were denied. Show the picture. You'll see. Show the picture. Two women were denied free French fries at a Burger King drive-thru.
Well, good morning.
This is too much.
Oh my God.
Too much.
And they were so
Enjoys
angry.
dodgeball. with a rack like that.
Serves two.
Serves two.
Yeah. Formerly known as Prince Adam,
got our
Natasha
first-
Bagley, 42, was arrested on Monday. The incident had reportedly happened on April the 2nd at the Burger King at 18240 South Dixie Highway. According to a police report, Bagley and her accomplice, 27-year-old Genesis, went through the restaurant's drive-through.
Genesis?
Genesis is her.
Sounds like a stripper name.
It sounds like He-Man characters.
It does.
Oh,
I'm pretty
okay.
sure.
Sure.
Genesis is the squirrely weird like with the purple coat and
No
the
idea.
witch hat.
And
Anyway.
there's some kind of there's something there about cisgender and Jenna. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I wonder if there's a picture of Genesis I could find somewhere.
Perhaps, I don't know. It wasn't in this article.
Okay.
In any event, He-Man and Genesis went through the restaurant's drive-through, asked for free French fries, like you do.
Yeah.
Of course.
Sure. Hey, can I have some
I'm
free
the
shit?
masters of the universe.
You never know.
If you don't try,
don't ask.
you don't ask first.
The answer is always no.
Are
Right.
the French fries free today?
Oh, I found Genesis.
Whoa, let's see.
Oh my God.
Stand by.
Also a He-Man character. You watch.
Well,
Well-
actually, it might be. Remember Xena, Warrior Princess?
I do.
Well, I think it was that at one time.
Who do you think he's talking to? Do I remember Xena the Warrior Princess? Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I think I'm correct.
You know, conversation about what she does with the bean.
Speaking of beans.
I've had many conversations about what she can do
Okay.
with a bean.
Speaking of
So-
beans
Let me
and
tell you.
beavers. we're
and apparently
gonna-
there was a theme that night in outfits because this is Genesis.
What is happening? Bras that are too small for.
Atta girls.
You know, sometimes you just don't want a plate. You just set the food right there and eat.
Now, really,
comes
Corn
in.
on the cob holder, very
they've got. See, really, if hang on,
All right.
hang on, wait,
sure coming yellow?
I'm gonna change this transition. So if we cut
right.
back and forth, or cut, boom,
Oh.
it's the same person.
It is.
Oh my
Shut the
God.
fuck up.
Show me the lie.
Show-
Wow.
I think you are correct.
Oh my God. It looks
Try it
like-
again. Try it
All
again.
right.
Yeah. See the line right there?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
The line across
Same
the
scar?
décolletage. Yeah.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Wow.
Sometimes the bra's a little tighter.
You know, a wig can
From the one
change
time when
just about
Skeletor got a really good
everything.
hit in.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had that action figure where you hit him on the chest and it dented. Anyway. What?
Burger King, have it your way.
My mother still has them. Swears they're worth money. I think they should go to Goodwill.
Oh,
The fight continues.
mercy.
Anyway,
The fight continues.
He-Man and She-Ra over there went through the restaurant's drive-through
Or She-Ra and She-Ra.
Did either of them get free French
and
fries?
asked for free fries. When they were told no, the two women reportedly went inside and began arguing with an employee.
As is their right. Yeah.
Genesis jumped over the counter, and that's when
Oh,
the
no.
manager came
I
out
thought
to
we were
try
going
and
biblical
defuse
for
the
a second.
situation.
Too far. Too far.
Police say that Genesis ordered the manager to give her money out of the register. The manager says
I'll hit you with these.
he was threatened with a pistol.
Oh,
Wow.
The manager tried calling police, and then Genesis grabbed the phone and began beating the manager.
Oh my gosh.
He-Man then reportedly jumped over the and joined in the assault.
If you're not sure who He-Man is, it's this character. Just making sure we're.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still on
well,
board.
Same haircut.
Still on
similar.
board. Yeah.
Similar,
Still the same
yeah,
haircut.
yeah.
40 years later, same haircut.
That's right.
Just 40.
Well,
I'll get the He-Man wig, please.
no, it's got to be less than 40. He-Man was like 85.
But
it's
not
less than
fresh
40.
then. Yeah.
No, it was brand new then.
He was already a man.
Well, sure. Right, yeah. He wasn't.
Correct.
He
It's
wasn't.
in the
40.
name.
Based,
wasn't
based
born-
on
I'm
no
saying-
knowledge whatsoever.
It's been 40 years since
It's in the
He-Man.
name. It's
They said from the get.
In any event,
from the get.
the ladies reportedly took off in a black SUV. He-Man is currently in jail
You're killing
with
me.
no bond. Genesis is still at large.
Can a jail? Can a
Well,
jail
Jenna-
really?
Hey, no.
Can a
Okay.
jail hold him?
All right. All right.
Well, sure, because he can't transform when other people are looking.
Yeah,
he has
actually,
to be
that's
at
not
Castle
true.
Grayskull. No, there's a whole thing.
Yes.
Takes off that
Pop
wig.
off, and all of a sudden you're
Look,
the.
at I'm a new person. I'm a different person.
Oh
By the
my
power of
something.
Grayskull.
Jesus
See,
Christ.
and Ann fucking knows. I have the
Oh,
power,
my
and then the lightning would
God.
strike, and it would go down the sword, and it would upgrade his cat. It's a whole
It
thing.
would upgrade his cat. I needed a freshened
did
up
you
pussy.
Does it have a new bean?
Oh, you people are awful.
Does it have a perky bean?
Fucking hate you all.
For future reference, I did a side by side because I figured that's better.
Oh, much better.
That's much
Oh,
better, isn't it?
Well played. Yes.
Genesis is on the left of your screen. He-Man, obviously, is the blonde.
Obviously.
Well done.
By the power of Grayskull. That's fucked up. That's funny. I
And
enjoy
one
it.
free cat upgrade, according to this
I
coupon.
don't know what that even means.
I've never seen the
What
show.
about the
so I
fries?
have no- I know.
Stand
Did she
by.
ever get some fries? the
So
poor
wait, so did
darling?
He-Man and Thundercats merge?
Oh,
No,
Thundercat.
He-Man
Well,
had
if you're getting a free
a
cat.
companion
Oh.
Yeah.
Like a companion.
Yeah, right.
What kind of?
It was like a tiger.
companion?
It was like a giant
Oh,
green tiger.
meow.
And he would become Battle Cat when Adam became He-Man.
Holy shit.
He
There's a
became
lot
Battle
happening,
Cat.
and Cat
It's the whole
is
thing. Did you look
very
up Battle Cat?
Hold on.
Oh,
He-Man and Battle
Look.
Cat.
Wait.
I'm gonna-
Play this goddamn video. I'm sending it to you right
No.
now.
Some of those-
Fucking Al
I've
Perkins has
I've
never
got the
seen this
picture.
bullshit.
This is a lot. I mean, give me some of these.
Hang on.
God,
So
that-
this is
no
He-Man.
way, it's like
He-Man riding
He-Man.
Thundercat.
Right.
Right there.
So
Jesus.
in the video, as
Side queen.
He-Man is being transformed, as is the cat, because the cat is kind of a cowardly cat. He's a cowardly lion when they're pretending to be regular.
Put him
But
up.
put him up, right? But then he gets real fucking fierce when he pulls
just
on the
happened?
power of Grayskull.
When did y'all start chanting? We all
Put him
go to-
up, put him up.
Oh,
Huh?
gotcha.
Oh,
Wizard of Oz.
I
One
thought
of
you were
these
yelling
days.
Pumbaa. Thought we were in
Some-
Wakanda or something.
No,
no.
no, we're not in
Timon.
Wakanda.
Yeah, not a Wakanda.
No, there's a
trying to
whole
get-
transformation that happens by the power of Grayskull.
Harrison, I'm
Not
with
by
you.
the
magic-
power vested in me.
No, that's the magic castle that they live in, that he gets all of his fucking power from. Thundercats
lives
are
in it and
totally
he's got a
different.
companion.
Thundercats came on right after He-Man.
Wow.
Listen,
I'm just saying.
this bitch went as
Yeah, but
He-Man
that's-
for
but-
Halloween
yeah, yeah.
4 years in a
Also-
row.
Oh, this is
I
my
know me some
surprise
fucking.
face.
I know.
But that's that was just last year.
Mom, Dad, I'm gay.
Um,
They're like, oh, we're stunned. Said the little girl that dressed like a boy her entire fucking life.
Monday through Thursday of this Halloween, I was dressed as He-Man.
Also, that would have been totally when that came out. What were you, 4?
I'd have paid cash money.
Right? I mean, like, so that would have been
What
like Saturday
century was
morning
this show in?
cartoons.
I don't even know.
80s.
It's in
The
the
mid
80s.
80s. So that would have been your Saturday morning cartoons kind of thing.
Except it was on in the afternoon. But yes.
Or whatever. Right.
I'm going to look it
My
up.
bad.
I'll find out what year it was.
Afternoons in the 80s, I was drinking. Let's just call it.
1983.
There you go.
Definitely
Right.
drunk.
I'm like
Yeah.
5 years old.
I was 15.
Kenai white wine was the drink of choice. Picture it. Niagara Falls, 1983.
Picture it.
An Italian dessert wine.
Just Val.
All right, so hang on. So this is what Kat wanted me to show. So we'll
Look.
cut to our
We're
YouTube.
going to upgrade this fucking cat.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is how this works.
Look, he's just a regular prince. Nobody special. And then by the
regular
power of Grayskull, boom, the lightning strikes. Bam, I'm motherfucking He-Man.
And now
All
he's
he
in
did was
Florida.
take his pants off.
Now
he was
he's
that
in-
musculature earlier.
It's magic. Magic. And now look, he's going to upgrade his cat. Oh, I'm a scaredy cat. Oh, cowardly lion. No,
This is
fuck
so
you.
sexual.
I'm a battle cat.
Yeah.
It was the 80s.
Right?
He took his pants off, grabbed his sword, pointed it at the pussy, and it got all swollen.
The 80s. Everything was a penis.
Let me recap.
Carry on.
There's a lot of sexual
Show
connotation.
me the lie.
And it got
And there were still people stunned when I came out. Marnie, read a damn story.
I can't right now.
Oh, I want to meet those people.
Were those blind
Oh,
people?
wait, I have met them. I did meet the parents.
Oh, you did meet my
We
parents.
did.
That's very. I forgot about that.
Oh my god.
They seem like clever people.
Bob and Deb are lovely people. Right. Very smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
So wait, so you said you went to Halloween dressed as which one of those?
Stab
It's
you
a-
in the face.
Your name is Kat. It's a fair question.
I hate that. First of all, anybody that makes any cat jokes in reference to my name gets stabbed.
Even an upgraded cat? Come on.
Even
Can
an
I play
upgraded
him a
cat.
mean old lion from The Wiz? I'm ready to fight. I'll turn your day into night because I'm a mean old lion.
Turn your Danes like, God, they're all dirty.
They
God
are.
damn it.
Fucking hookers.
Good God, Marnie, would you like to do something, or would you like
Hate this show.
to? Would you like to use a lifeline?
Oh.
I didn't know it's time for viewer mail.
CatCarlson.com. Go vote.
Oh. So, you know, by the power of Grayskull.
I have the power. That's what he yells.
So,
Oh, my
so there
God.
was a former Idaho Republican chairman who thought he had the power of Grayskull by jacking off into a wig
Huh?
outside of his ex-wife's home.
Tale as old as time.
Yeah.
Song as
Tale
old
as
as
old
rhyme.
as
Who
time.
hasn't
Hey,
been
we're,
there?
and we're talking Idaho, not Florida here.
Who
Do they,
so-
not
hasn't
have,
been
do they not
there?
have hand towels in Idaho?
What is wrong with
I feel like
you?
the wig's going to be a messy
Isn't there
cleanup.
something civilized Well, police in Boise, Idaho, arrested Jonathan Parker, not a relation to Peter
Oh, okay.
Parker, on felony first-degree stalking charge this Thursday, alleging that on or between May 16th and May 30th, somewhere, Parker did knowingly and maliciously engage in conduct that seriously alarmed, annoyed, or harassed Kelly Parker.
I didn't know that malicious masturbating was a crime.
Did into a wig.
Can you
Maybe
hate
it
fuck
was
yourself?
her wig.
Apparently.
Can you grudge
It may
fuck
have been her.
Walk on by. Walk on by.
Don't.
No, we're going to leave that alone. Kelly Parker is the suspect's former wife, who he is currently in divorce proceedings with. Jonathan Parker is a lobbyist and the former chairman of the Idaho Republican Party. Of course he is. His former wife currently has a restraining order filed against him and her wigs. According to the complaint, he was repeatedly hiding in the bushes. He sounds a lot like Michelle Bachmann. Repeatedly hiding in bushes, masturbating, disguising himself with a wig. It was a disguise.
Oh.
At
Does he
or
not know
near.
where you're supposed to wear a wig?
Oh, man, they don't really teach
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
It's really more
Interesting.
implied.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you should just figure that on your own.
Well, Parker was arraigned in Ada County District Court, and during his video arraignment, the prosecutor told the judge that police responded to a report of a man looking into windows and fondling himself. When police arrived, they learned that Parker's estranged wife lived in that complex. Parker told police that he was there to scare a different female.
Oh, that's better. Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
that story got way better.
But police said they were not able to contact this person that he was alleging to wanting to scaring. The prosecutor also noted that Parker's estranged wife has previously reported him for staring into her windows because he's not a creepy enough fucker. Former GOP Idaho Attorney General David Leroy represented Parker during the arraignment. And he said that the incident was a grand misunderstanding.
Of
the grand
course.
staircase. It was a grand
Sure it was.
misunderstanding. And that Parker had been invited to a costume party at the apartment complex, where he peeked in windows and admitted to... No, I'm kidding. According to Boise State Public Radio, Parker left his position with the Idaho GOP last February after serving there since 2017. Before that, he served as executive director and was of the Idaho GOP and was a staffer for former Republican Congressman Bill Sally. I was really hoping that he would have been with the guy who was in the stalls.
Oh, right.
Larry-
The wide, the wide
The
stance.
wide stance.
The wide stance, that would have been fabulous. His bail, which we know he did receive, set at $80,000, and he faces 5 years in prison.
Good on him.
I wish that would happen. Not to wish anyone bad on anyone, but for real.
Yeah.
Because first of all,
Well, you can go to
mistreating wigs
Alabama,
like that, my
make
gosh.
friends.
Good call. That's correct.
Right? Isn't that or Louisiana? Where was your mayor
What-
from? Where was
the hating, the hater.
Yeah. Carbon Hill. Let me scroll backwards. Alabama.
Everything fabulous
Same
comes out of
song.
Alabama.
I mean, it really does.
I'm just saying. Bunch of fuckers. Into a
Bunch of
wig.
Wig fuckers.
Wig fucker.
fuckers.
Wig fuckers.
You peeking weed fucker. Wig fucker. Excuse me. It's a peeking wig fucker.
Oh, well,
Oh,
the
go on.
New York Police Department used a photo of Woody
Speaking of wig
Harrelson. Yeah,
fuckers.
wig fuckers, yeah.
Wow.
That one's always got some kind of a hair piece on. In its facial recognition program, an attempt to identify a beer thief who looked like the actor, according to a report published Thursday. Georgetown University Center on Privacy and Technology highlighted the April 2017 episode in Garbage In, Garbage Out on a report on what it says are flawed practices in law enforcement's use of facial recognition. The report says security footage of the thief was too pixelated and produced no matches, while high-quality photos of Harrelson, a 3-time Oscar nominee, returned several matches. But when we put up a different person's face, people noticed him.
Yeah.
I know him.
Wow.
I've seen him
Interesting.
somewhere before.
Somewhere it's familiar.
His face rings a bell.
Yeah.
The NYPD also used a photo of a New York Knicks player to search its database for a man wanted for a Brooklyn assault, the report said. The stakes are too high in criminal investigations to rely on unreliable or wrong inputs. The Georgetown researcher wrote, "It's one thing for a company to build a face recognition system designed to help individuals find their celebrity doppelgangers or painting look-alike for entertainment purposes. It's quite another to use these techniques to identify criminal suspects who may be deprived of their liberty and ultimately prosecuted based on the match." And I mean, everybody has those friends that kind of look like someone.
Sure.
There was my friend Levi at a certain point looked a lot like Matt Damon. And then Tim's friend James Catonius looks a lot like what's Matt Damon's boyfriend's name?
Ben
Affleck. I guess we're not wondering who's gay there.
We wondered?
Case study over. Yeah. No, anyways. But it was just funny. So one day they were at the pool, and if we were telling people in our drunken stupor that it was Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and honestly, like if you had one or two drinks in you, you're like, yeah, that could really be them. Like the similarities were, and to see them together looking alike was even more like that's a little unsettling. You know, the first time they both showed up at a pool party, and we're like, oh, now that's weird.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it seems like a funny idea at first until you find out, like, okay, you're just stirring making them see something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It could just be somebody that has black hair. It doesn't mean it's Ross from Friends. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But you know what I mean?
We
But
were on
there's
a
that
break.
because they did it with him recently, where they
Right, they thought that they saw him on security camera and a guy that kind of looked like
and
him.
he tried-
We did
and
a whole
then-
story about it.
Yeah, we
the
know.
footage
I
looked
remember
like
this.
him. So it sounds like funny till you realize, oh, they could be using this to railroad some people into jail just because you don't look like the criminal, but you look like this person who also looks like this person. Like we're at like 6 degrees of separation. So I like that they call it garbage in, garbage out. So
That's an old programming adage. Like
no. But I mean, it's a great name for that program too. Is you're not going to get
No.
quality results because you started off with a false statement going in. Like the data you entered makes no sense.
Garbage in, garbage out?
Yeah, we used to say shit in, shit out, but
Well, it's
Same.
well, garbage in, garbage out comes from computer programming. That's what they all say.
I just thought I'd swear.
I do like to
I
swear.
like it. I'm good with it.
Well, a story about things that look like something else, piggybacking on Mr. Perkins. From a street, the medical center on Thunderbird Road
Please don't.
in Glendale, Arizona, looks like an ordinary building, but a bird's eye view shows a little bit different picture. From above the footprint of the Fountains Medical Center at 5620 West Thunderbird Road right here, it's in Glendale, Arizona, which is just a neighboring city of Phoenix. It's all the Valley of the Sun. It actually resembles 2 swastikas, and I will cut to that picture. Boom.
That doesn't look like it. That just is.
That's
No one,
unfortunate.
no one associated with the building.
That's Ross from Friends.
No one associated with the building or the project in the early 80s realized the resemblance at the time, according to a representative from a real estate company that was
It's
involved.
the whole Game of Toilet Bowl thing. all
Now,
over again.
Arizona Republic is our local newspaper, could not locate the architect and the original building owners. Now, I call bullshit
He's hiding in Brazil.
because the blueprints that the city
Sure.
approved look like that.
Yeah.
How do you not see that?
And that's a swastika inside a swastika.
I just don't know how do you not see that? Like, come on, city planners. I figured that there's some bullshit going on there. Anyway, one thing is clear: the use of Google Maps.
Or you're like, planes aren't invented. It'll be funny.
It was the 80s.
I was just kidding.
Oh, okay. I'm like, planes were invented.
Christ, Lord. Because the people that don't know what planes are going to say that planes aren't invented.
As the use of Google
like that you
Maps
thought it
and
was
other
direct-
online
directly
navigational
from those.
systems become more common, the bird's eye view of buildings is becoming more accessible, and those with potentially offensive symbols are circulating online. Quote, it's a relatively new phenomenon to explore to see a city from the point of view of the air, like you're seeing with Google Maps. A Scottsdale-based architect said it reveals a lot of stuff that the day-to-day experience of people using the buildings just don't see. The medical center in Glendale is 8 separate buildings, which individually owned suites, blah, 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 blah. It's across the street from Banner Thunderbird, actually. It was built in 1983. The land was owned by a group of individuals who lived in Chicago and were part of an organization called the Fountains Medical Center Owners Association. The odd thing is that in this story, if you read in further, Leo Eisenberg,
Oh, wow.
which is was built by Leo Eisenberg, Jewish, back in the day. Don't you think somebody
Yeah.
was like, we're building what?
Yeah. We're going to put what where?
It just
and
seemed-
it looks like, yeah.
It just seems odd to me. However, Diana Smith, the Arizona director of local chapters for American Institute of Architects, said in her initial thought that the buildings were shaped like pinwheels.
Oh, that's
which
cute.
which I can also see, but come on.
That's super obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like that. The swastika just came out the
Right.
year before.
Again, if you're joining us late, Google Maps, this is the aerial shot of a medical center or medical buildings in our fair city here.
and I don't think it's an overreaction.
I don't think we're overreacting to swastikas at all. Yes, it is a thing of the past, but it's also a thing of the present. If I see
right
if I see someone proudly displaying a swastika right now,
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that they are racist and homophobic
sure.
and
Yeah.
every
All
kind
the
of
things,
all
yeah.
the all of the things that I should walk to the other side of the street for.
Yeah.
And I get
like,
that
and they
it's a
still-
building, but
And they still, and they haven't like confused it with the Tibetan good
You know,
luck charm.
what's
Right,
what interesting that you say that it's still now. I mentioned a couple weeks ago. I'm still watching, and I haven't completed it all yet. The documentary about Auschwitz and the
Right.
whole thing about that and how they created it and built it and propagated all the death and all the bullshit. It's insane. Even with that, the reenactment that they do of all of it, it's still like, as an actor, like, okay, you're going to be a general in the SS Army, and we're going to do a scene where you're looking into a pit where all of the Jews' bodies would be. Like, when I just think of them reenacting that and you having to actually wear the
Yeah.
costume, that's just creepy to me. I mean, I get why they do it, and I praise people
That's
who
why I'm not an actor.
right, but I get for people who
That and my
totally-
complete lack of ability for
like
acting.
your ability,
like-
right. But
potato,
anyway, it's just it is creepy so to see that. And the unfortunate thing is, the swastika before was associated. We talked about that recently.
A Tibetan
Yeah.
good luck symbol.
Right, it was a good luck symbol. Not even well, they ruined that for the Tibetans.
Yeah. I mean, a lot's been ruined. So I feel terrible about this little thing that I have to correct at work.
Goodness.
So there are a lot of names for medical procedures and medical conditions that are named after Nazis that discovered them. And so
I didn't realize that.
one of the things that we have stopped calling things is a Swan-Ganz catheter, and we all just call it, we're going to put a swan in. Like, it's just like the Kleenex of that particular
I've
thing.
never heard that.
Okay.
And so I had to, and hopefully you will never be sick enough to need one.
Good.
And I had, so all the monitors have, they're just gone back to calling them pulmonary artery catheters, and we don't give them names. And I just assumed it was because they were part of the whole, like, we gotta get rid of all the Nazi names that we're throwing around the hospital. So it turns out that the Monsieur Ganz was actually Jewish and actually escaped from. Like, he was sent to Auschwitz, got out, graduated from school, got away from the communists in Czechoslovakia, and has nothing to do with being a Nazi. So I feel terrible that I included this poor man in my training last week of, like, I was like, I should look it up, and the other one's Irish. So my apologies to the gentleman
Goodness.
that I... That's when you're teaching something and you don't look up a couple facts.
Right.
You take a couple German-sounding names and just lump them all together. So
Wow.
Facts matter. I
You've
mean, not on this
traumatized-
show. But facts
You've traumatized
matter.
several students.
Well, I mean, no, but we all had a conversation about, like, there's a bunch of things that they don't call by the same name anymore. Now we got to look up and find out which one were Nazis and which ones we're just not naming diseases after people anymore.
Wow.
I hope Munchausen's doesn't go away because that's a great name.
Yeah, right.
I hope he had led a clean life because I really want to keep him involved or her. Again, I never
Right,
Googled, don't
sure,
know.
Sure.
Well, speaking of shitty things,
Well,
an apparent tiff about an unflushed toilet overflowed into a dispute involving a swinging
God.
plunger, according to an Indian River County Sheriff's report. The case dropped about 7:40 a.m. May 23rd when deputies went to a disturbance there on 35th Avenue. A 58-year-old woman identified as the victim said her roommate spat on her.
Yep.
That's right. And not in the fun way.
you're
She said the discord
like it.
began as Patterson, quote, refused to flush the toilet after using it.
I have a problem with that
Mention
too.
was
I do
not
too,
made.
right?
Mention was not made of any air freshener or potpourri.
Matches will do. And a pinch.
Many consider leaving a toilet unflushed after a bladder is drained or bowels are moved to be poor etiquette.
Oh,
As do I.
I agree.
The
I think we
58-year-old.
can take a universal stance on
Wait,
this one.
I want to know who the people that think it is a good idea. Like,
Yeah.
what is wrong?
I do have to.
Apparently, this woman.
Well, I
Can I
matter.
have one small asterisk? Because I pee 7 million times
Sure.
during the night. If I'm staying at someone else's house and I just got up to pee, I don't like to flush the toilet every time because I'm afraid I'm going to wake them up because
Sure.
I just feel like I'm constantly, like I pee like once an hour.
Okay.
So I do feel bad that I'm like, I'm going to be up in an hour. I'm going to pee again. I'll just flush the night. You know what I mean? I just feel like that flushing toilet gets annoying.
if you leave shit in the toilet, we
No.
have a problem.
Oh, no.
No. But that's my. I mean, I really.
Oh, yeah.
But if it's that, I don't. Whatever.
Well, this woman,
But if you leave
who
shit in
is
the toilet, we got an
unidentified,
issue. Yeah.
reported telling her roommate a number of times to flush, and said that her roommate started spewing expletives and spitting on her.
Well,
Ew.
seems like a logical resolution to the problem.
Then she advised that she picked up a plunger and began swinging away at her roommate. Infrequently employed as a weapon, a plunger, in case you didn't know, is a stick with a rubber suction cup at the end,
Yeah.
used in cleaning clogged toilets or pipes. They're often required when a commode or plumbing system becomes overloaded.
Right.
Goodness gracious. Well, the roommate
Spit all
appeared
over
to dump blame
Dump.
on the
like
victim.
These
I know.
words. God.
I like it.
Told the investigators that the victim was spat on after she attacked with a cooking pot. She escalated from plunger to pot, if you
From
will.
plunger to pot.
Jesus Christ.
It sounds like a Dateline
Also an episode name.
From plunger to pot.
Oh my goodness. In the end, the roommate was issued a notice to appear in court on a battery charge. The report doesn't state whether or not the toilet got flushed.
I should hope.
Shitty.
Well, one resolution to that is put an auto plunger on it. I mean, if you can't beat sense into your fucking friend or roommate,
Put an auto flush on there.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be okay.
I mean, that's how they resolve it in public, clearly. I mean, everybody I know of has been in a public restroom, where just all of a sudden you stand up and,
Sometimes you just reach for your phone and it goes.
right, yeah. Lean over just the wrong way, do something. Whatever you got to do.
It's quite
Be
the
a
surprise sometimes.
It is.
Shocking.
And then there's a breeze that's usually involved from the flow of water.
Right.
But it's very different
Surprising,
than the slosh
but
of
not-
beans.
Surprising, but not unpleasant always.
Oh, true.
Not an entirely unpleasant feeling.
Speaking of unpleasant feelings,
Ooh,
Marty,
Well,
story.
speaking of
See,
unpleasant.
the bidet is
feelings,
working.
well,
Good Lord.
so my brother sent me this article because it just sounds like something that I would.
It completely does.
It really does. Now,
It's about somebody fucking their car.
typically I do appreciate a car fucker.
Yeah.
Right?
Mechanophile.
Mechanophile, as it were.
Yeah.
Very nice.
No.
But we now have earthophiles. Is that right? I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Fucking a hole in the
Ecosexuals.
ground?
Ecosexuals.
All right.
Ecosexual?
Whatever.
There you have it.
Batshit
Potato,
crazy.
potato.
Yeah, potato fucker.
Yeah. Ecosexuals believe having sex with the earth could save it. That's right.
Listen.
From skinny dippers to people who have actual intercourse with nature. I've done tree fucking stories in the past as well, so this is,
We were here.
We were guilty.
we had to be a part of that. Ecosexuality is a growing movement,
Is
taking a
it?
new approach to
Is it?
combating
Do you have the
climate
swollen
change.
cat to prove it?
Oh, meow. So, if you happen to find yourself in Sydney, Australia this week, you have the unique opportunity to have sex with the earth. Good thing we're not there.
Well, I guess it's down under. That makes sense.
Well, well played.
Thank you.
No.
Be here all night.
I like it. You just need to stop by the Ecosexual Bathhouse,
I won't.
which is currently part of the Sydney Liveworks Festival of Experimental Art. That's a thing.
It's a hard pass from me.
Well, it's hard for some people. The bathhouse is an interactive installation created by artists of this Pony Express, who described the work as a no-holds-barred extravaganza meant to dissolve the barriers between species as we descend into oblivion. These people are fucking high. Like, they're super high, and I think they're on acid, actually.
Well, here's one of the pictures that's on their website, and I'm like, really?
Yeah,
This
there you go.
was- What the hell?
I mean, they need to trim that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't think that should have come off when
No.
you kissed it the first time.
No. Oh, fuck the earth.
Can't.
So,
I just won't.
So this was
Literally.
as the result of a global environmental crisis. So that's what this whole, it's supposed to be a no holds bar extravaganza. I can only say it that way. Meant to dissolve the barriers
Fucking
between
RuPaul.
species as we dissolve into oblivion.
How many
Equals
dollars?
global environmental crisis. But they also see this piece as a part of a much larger ecosexual movement, which they say is gathering momentum around the world.
I don't know.
I almost feel it. Did you feel it?
Oh, no, your
oh.
phone's on vibrate.
Okay. Mine?
Yeah, that's what you felt.
Nope. Not this time. I proved it.
Catherine
No.
Barbosa.
I proved it. Not there. It was
1993.
different. So,
Page me again.
keep going.
Sitting on it this time. I'm ready. I got my bean on it.
I'm prepared. Beans and beavers. Beans and beavers. So, as they might be right, Jennifer Reed.
No muff too tough.
Yeah. Ugly women have pussies too. You got to finish the whole speech. It's from a Bette Midler comedy thing. Thought it was kind of disgusting. I thought it was kind of accepting in a weird way.
Anywho.
So,
Super true.
So Jennifer Reed
What are
is
we
a
talking about?
PhD candidate in sociology at the University of Las Vegas, Nevada, and is writing a dissertation on ecosexuality. Because that's really a fucking thing.
So Lori Loughlin's daughters could have got into that
Could have
university.
been,
Yeah,
totally.
Just walked right in.
Superimpose her face on
Yeah,
the
exactly.
back.
Could have walked right in.
Well,
No bribery
and-
necessary.
That's right. And she says that the number of people who identify as ecosexuals has increased markedly in the last 2 years. Of course it has.
Yeah.
How do you self-identify? As we've said on this show, right?
No.
However you self-identify.
Tree fucker. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Only specific
By the
ones. I'm a
power of
birch.
Grayskull.
Do
I'm a
not
birch. I only fuck the birch. I only fuck the
He-Man
birch.
in all of this bullshit.
I mean,
Do
we
the malign He-Man. Very
It's
nice.
He-Man had
almost-
nothing to do with these
it's
fucking weirdos.
almost our motto that anything's a dildo if you're brave. So it's not like we haven't been
I mean, it's true.
privately supporting this
And
movement
Google search data confirms
and a
that,
well-hung corn cob for a
Inter-
while.
that interest in the term has spiked dramatically over the past year. We may look back on 2016 as the year ecosexuality hit the mainstream, for God's sake.
I don't look at it. No.
Some people do.
Yeah.
These people.
yeah.
I don't,
Ecosexuality
no.
is a term with wide-ranging definitions, which vary depending on who you ask. Yeah, I probably wouldn't say fucking the earth, but so I mean, this is very. It certainly is something that's growing prominence, and it owes much of that
Can I get
to
a
the
shot for
efforts
that?
of the Bay Area performance artists, activists, and couple Annie Sprinkle and Elizabeth Stevens, who have made ecosexuality a personal crusade. Because if you can't do anything else, please make ecosexuality a crusade.
But you know
Your
who it'll
crusade.
help?
Yes.
Those, well, what are they called?
An
The,
ecosex manifesto
no,
writer?
no. The ones that, the people that are
Nope.
not getting sex and now they have some kind of weird name for
Asexual?
themselves. No, but it's called like involuntary,
Celibacy.
celibacy. The involuntary celibates. Get them on that movement. Now they're getting laid. They'll stop being mass
There you
shooters.
Oh, well played. Well
I'm
played.
solving the world's
I
problems.
like it. That's part of
Are
Al.
you?
That's Val's Eco-Sex Manifesto.
Thank
Right
you.
there.
Yes.
No, but I mean, have you noted like the last few shooters
No, you're right.
were this thing I've
This
never
thing.
heard of?
That's true.
Self-imposed celibacy.
No, it's involuntary celibacy, and it's got
Basically
Google
means
it.
no one will sleep with you
No one will. Yeah,
because you're an asshole who's about to shoot up a school.
Right. 'Cause
I don't
you're-
feel bad
you're
for them.
but
scared.
no, but
That
they're
Now,
escalated
there
quickly.
is a documentary. There is a documentary that you enjoy the documentaries.
I
now.
do.
Yes.
Is it called
But-
Nobody Will Fuck Me? Is that what
No,
the
no,
fuck
no,
it's called?
no.
Like, I don't know what
No,
you.
no,
Where are you
no.
going?
a
This
story
is-
of a man in a mirror.
I'm talking with the man in the mirror.
Nobody's gonna fuck me.
I need a cat upgrade.
No.
Polish the pearl.
No.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, I quit.
You win.
I can't.
Thanks. I'm good with these stories.
So I was today years old when I heard masturbation referred to as polishing the pearl. I'm done. I retire.
Oh.
Me and Barbara Walters are
We're
just gonna
there.
walk through Central Park lonely and
Yeah.
alone.
So these activists, that Annie Sprinkle and her
Incels.
cohort, made a documentary. They produced several films actually on this theme. And
How
the
long is this
documentary-
story?
Huge, long, all of the things.
Oh.
Goodbye, Golly Mountain, an eco-sexual love story. So Clayton will be watching that later and letting us know
I know,
because
seriously.
it depicts a pollen-amorous relationship
Oh, fuck
between
me.
them. Nope.
I
and
long for the days when
Appalachian-
I
different
long for the
document.
days when she was polishing the pearl.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a relationship between you and the Appalachian Mountains, of course.
Oh, of course.
hell was that cat?
Dirty sex.
What was that? Scrolled back down.
What's
what is-
happening?
More. That picture.
This one?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking at memes.
Okay, well, I just was like, wow.
And do you
I know.
remember the people that like on their license plates? No, license plates. License have that they are the Church of the
Oh,
Pasta.
the colanders.
The Collanders.
Oh,
Yes.
right. Yes.
Well, these people, I
It's
mean,
a
they do
legitimate-
all
it's a legitimate
kinds of,
religion.
It is. They have also done a theater piece regarding 25 ways to make love to the earth. Of course they have. And they've
Did somebody say they
you couldn't?
couldn't?
Yeah. Was someone trying to stop you?
they've officiated wedding ceremonies, which must have been a delight, where they and fellow ecosexuals, of course, marry the earth, the moon, and other natural entities. So, if
I
in
was at
fact
that
you're
lesbian
looking-
wedding one time, and it was
I
fucking
know,
long,
right?
and there was not enough booze.
Too much.
And there's gonna
I'm
be an
just saying.
Orthodox
There's
version
also
that's
an
even,
ecosexual bathhouse
And they made
trailer
me wear
if
a
you would
kilt.
like to see the bathhouse trailer.
Oh, no, thanks.
I'm just letting you know. They are the E. You know how we have the last point to the story? How they have discussed all kinds of the alphabet, right? We have the LGBTQ, NSA, blah, blah, blah. Well, they, at last year's San Francisco Pride Parade, led a contingent of over 100 ecosexuals in a ribbon-cutting ceremony to officially add an E to the LGBTQI acronym.
Oh, shut up.
Yes,
We're exhausted already.
there are 100,000 people who identify as this, so we need to keep that in mind and accept the E.
I think we're inclusive enough, and it's time to start shunning people.
Because isn't the E mean etc.? What is? Didn't they add a thing that meant? No.
I like that.
Yeah.
And whatever else you are.
Yeah.
However you
I
self-identify.
We gave them an ellipse. Dot.
Yeah.
Dot.
Yeah.
Dot. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
However
Thank
you
you.
self-identify.
And we're out of time.
Okay.
Back to you, Bob.
Yeah. By the time I read off all the letters in the acronym, the show is
The
over.
show is over. Good Lord. I agree. I mean, yeah.
Oh, go green
Okay.
between
I
the
think, I think it's time to bring back shunning.
It's yeah. There you go. Okay. I feel
So-
like that's rude.
So, Representative Rashida Tlaib recalled threats made against her and other freshman House members during an emotional exchange Tuesday about the lack of a domestic terrorism statute. The Michigan Democrat described one threat, which was sent to her office and others, targeting her because of her Muslim faith. How is it not enough to fall under domestic terrorism if they're targeting solely based on my faith and others in saying that a good Muslim is a dead Muslim? Obviously directed to me, she said. In April, a man from Florida called and threatened multiple Democratic lawmakers, including the gentlewoman from Michigan, according to the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida, but it was unclear if this was the same incident she was describing at Tuesday's hearing. Her colleague, Inan Omar, a Minnesota Democrat, said in April that she had experienced an increase in death threats following a tweet by President Trump. We get so many of them, and I keep asking, what happens? What happens to these individuals? I'm really sincere. I'm a mother. I want to go home to my two boys. The FBI Assistant Director of Counterterrorism Director Michael McGarity, who was testifying at a House Oversight Committee hearing on the federal response to white supremacy, empathized with the threats, but stressed there isn't a domestic terrorism statute to fully combat these threats and allow for the arrest of those making them. So he urged Congress and the people holding these hearings, it's time to pass a law. So it's funny that they're asking the FBI what could be done, and the FBI saying no one's ever bothered with this. Like, now we have women of color of different religions that are getting death threats on the daily, including, is it AOC? What's her
Yeah.
shortened name?
Yes, yeah.
That
AOC.
said that she just sits down with her coffee and reads her death threats each morning.
Uh-huh.
I mean, just a terrorizing thing to have to go through and to be okay with. But it's kind of shocking that there's a congresswoman sitting there asking the FBI director what's being done about the death threats on her, and he's like, "Well, no one's ever passed a law, so nothing.
Right.
We don't care.
We don't care." Like that's
Talk about a
so,
hostile work
that is
environment,
so
for heaven's sake. Yeah.
disturbing. Yeah. To think that in our government, so hopefully these two and their the people working with them will see the need for this. Like, but I mean, and will this, will Mitch McConnell and all of Kentucky just be like, no,
It's Mitch
because
McConnell.
they're so him. What did I call him?
Yeah, if Turtle.
Whatever the dirty fucker's
There
name
needs
is.
to be some more
Yeah.
threats on that dumbass.
Right.
dirty fucker.
Yeah,
Exactly.
dirty
But there's a guy that's there. I don't know if you saw this in the news. If you're not even paying any attention,
I'm not.
there's gentleman is challenging him now. Is running against him, a Democrat
What?
in Kentucky, trying to get him get Turtle Boy.
It
to
would be
fuck
better
out.
to see someone primary his ass.
That would be great.
Oh,
That would be
yeah.
terrific to see
Yeah.
him actually have to spend some money on a primary.
Sure.
They would never.
What did I say? What did I
You
say?
said a Democrat.
No, you did. So
No,
he's
you
going to
said
run
it
against
right.
him.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
absolutely
Got it.
correct.
Yeah, no,
but,
so-
but it would be terrific if somebody would primary
Oh, I
him.
agree. But
Yeah.
I would just like to see him get just kicked out.
And it's just
Such a
just
fucktard.
terrifying to
Yeah, I
me
agree.
with everything that's going on with the white supremacists and all these shootings. We don't have a law yet against these people. Like, it's kind of upsetting.
Well, they probably do if it's a man.
Yeah, and
But probably not against women.
no.
It would
it's
make
not the same.
sense. They never thought women
sure.
would make it that far.
Right.
I like that Anand's telling
You're
us
right.
about making the whiteout. That's
Oh, I
my
know.
joke,
It's
Anand.
cracking me up. Churning the cream. Choking the chicken.
That's our made-up term for masturbation,
the
making the
skin
whiteout.
flip.
That is trademarked.
Polishing
golden
the
glow.
Oh,
globe.
for God's
It's
sake!
sacred.
It's trademarked.
It's trademarked. Polishing the pearl.
I know. What's the one about the bishop? There's something about the bishop.
Shit, I don't remember.
I think it's brandishing the bishop, but that sounds wrong.
Oh.
No, it might be.
Al.
I'd like
in
to
the
move
corner.
on.
Yep.
In the corner.
Oh, I got a purple one.
Referencing back to Marnie's story, and not specific to the story, but remember we did stories about this. This is the Pastafarians that fought to
right.
get their right to have their fucking picture taken on an ID with a colander on their head. So this dumbass happens to be from here in Arizona, and then this lovely young lady is from Massachusetts. There's her
Right.
temporary ID with her fucking colander on her head. These jackwads.
That way they could wear that for their pictures.
Stupid.
But
people.
see, I'm on their side because they have as much legitimate
Yeah.
claim to their religion as anyone else does.
Oh no! Sadly, I agree with you. It's just
I think it's fantastic. I think the
it's
I think the brilliance of the
It's
absurd here
preposterous,
is wonderful.
Right.
Also, it's beating the bishop.
Very nice.
I'm glad we've
There you go.
learned that.
I've asked Reddit a question. May I just?
Be afraid.
Whose turn?
Are you serious, or do I need to go on?
There are 1,001 different use of euphemisms, notably
Cuffing the carrots?
shaking hands with the milkman, and I've always enjoyed shaking hands with Mr. Lincoln. Boxing the one-eyed champ. That made me fart.
Wow. Wow.
I just feel I should warn you, in-studio listeners,
Talk about dropping.
that a weekend full of beans just had a very sad outcome.
No pun intended.
Okay.
Floating an air biscuit. That's what that's called.
Top that off a little Chipotle. That's gonna be.
Crop dusting.
Caddying for the mayor, playing a little 5-on-1.
Oh.
Oh my God, hand-to-gland combat, Jack and the Beanstalk, scratching your Yoda behind the ears. No. No.
Scratch our word.
Why is your vagina green?
Well, green your vagina is.
So then the Reddit reader says, I'm so confused in Dickie Bill. It's so nice to say, but women masturbate too, to which Nexus Wolf says, oh. Paddling the pink canoe. Oh my God.
There's lots of them out there.
Pound Mary. I've heard that one before.
Yep.
Yeah. Buffing
Okay.
the muffin.
There you go.
You need to talk to the captain before you can board the ship. That's a different topip, but a firm
Also
and hard
true.
rule, yeah.
Yeah.
Firm and fast rule.
I've got another list. I've
Firm
also
and
got
hard
painting
rule.
the pickle, charming the cobra,
Oh.
making the bald man cry,
It hits close to home. It's a little on the nose.
You're welcome.
Oh, okay. No.
Oh, this took a very dark
No.
turn.
It really did.
Was it murder?
Was it murder?
Making the bald man cry?
Oh my God.
God damn.
That
Oh.
is too good.
There's also scrubbing the carrot, petting your monkey,
Oh.
Oh.
playing pocket pool.
That's not always masturbation.
That's true.
Oh.
That could be a joint exercise.
I think you just made the bald man sweat. I don't know.
You're welcome.
Oh, bald man. I said cry.
They say thank you.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I like to bring quality entertainment to the
it
show.
really is. Oh my
Something.
God, Larry Poppins. Yep.
Why are we back at Larry Poppins?
Joe made that leap to Larry.
Marching the penguin. Facing that. Got that German soldier marching. Good Lord.
Whose turn is it?
Mine.
Oh, thank you,
damn.
Reddit.
Oh, for crying out loud. Well, on an entirely different topic. I can't. There's no way I can transition out of that topic to this. It's odd that you mentioned Scott Tickler earlier
My
in the
God,
show.
is she about to demonstrate? Scratching her Yoda behind the ears.
No, that looks more like dialing the rotary phone.
No. No. That,
I'm gonna go dial the rotary phone.
that was polishing the pearl. Oh.
Celebrating Palm Sunday.
Yeah. Next week's always Easter in that story.
Oh, he has risen.
Indeed.
Yes.
Oh, good Lord.
He was buried and then
We're
rose
children.
again.
Yeah, he's got stamina, that one.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, God.
I have to close this browser. I can't.
Yeah. Please do.
There was, as I was trying to get further away from Bishop's masturbating, which was a disturbing threat to be on. So I had to put slang at the end of it. But somewhere, just to get out of that vile loop.
I say this is work well done, honestly.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh my.
Auditioning
The finger puppets, yep.
Oh my God.
Oh man. That's
I'm just telling you the bigger one wins.
Oh my gosh.
That's fantastic.
Oh, good night.
Back to you in studio.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not even. I'm drinking coffee. Not even on. If I had champagne, this would be worse. Trust me.
Mercy.
Well, you mentioned earlier in the show something about Scott Tickler,
No.
and interestingly enough, I'm going to read
I love
a
it.
Facebook post that you actually commented on today,
God, I love
or
it.
liked, because Scott Tickler, he's got
Brilliant.
an interesting sense of humor. Scott does. Great seamstress, hell of a performer. He does the Ren
Brilliant.
Fair. He's a hell of a person. And the comments, he works at a. He works at a plumbing supply where people purchase from him, like they're remodeling a bathroom, and he sells them all the fancy bathtubs and lavatories and all the fixtures, all the shit. And he posts so much funny shit about people who are they wanted to go the cheap route, so they went to Home Depot and whatever doesn't fit, and this doesn't fit, and their contractor fucked up, and then they want to demand shit like tomorrow be here. Stuff that has to be manufactured in 6 weeks out, but you're messing with my timeline. Some of the stuff he posts is very, very funny.
Yes.
Now, a couple weeks ago, when one of the abortion laws went into effect. In fact, it may have been Georgia. Is that where the female governor signed it? Is it
No, that's Alabama.
Alabama. Got it, Alabama. So when she signed that, Scott made a post that he'd gone on his Amazon Prime membership, and he had he got her address, and then he sent her 100 coat hangers. Wire hangers, yeah, and he sent them to several other people who were in the same line of, passing laws. So today he found out some information about one of his gifts, and he wrote a post about it. So I thought I'd share it with you because it just made me laugh. It starts out, I'm a bit insulted. A gift that I sent with the best of intentions was returned. As many of you know, I've been sending packages of wire clothes hangers to the governors who signed anti-abortion legislation into law. To be clear, it's in an act of charity on my part. If they're going to deny women their federally protected right to safe abortion, then somebody needs to help them out with other alternatives. Well, one of my first gift packages went to Republican Governor Kay Ivey of Alabama. Her state is one of the lowest rated for education, yet one of the highest for teen pregnancy and infant mortality. I was doing her a favor, really. What with her doing all she can to keep her constituents ignorant and impoverished, I imagine she just doesn't have time to run out and buy hangers on her own. So I, armed with my Amazon Prime account, sent her a pack of 100 of the prettiest wire hangers I could find. I'm a giver. I'm sad to say that she returned the... I'm sad to say she didn't appreciate the gift, and she has returned, instructing Amazon to give me a full refund. I can only assume that this means that Alabama has all the wire hangers and staircases and bathroom cleaner douches it needs to supply its resident with alternative methods for safe, federally protected abortions. However, I'm nothing if not positive. Since Governor Ivey was so kind to give me my refund for my generous gift, I can now send hangers to somebody else. Yay! Packages of hangers have been sent to Alabama, Louisiana, Oklahoma. Who else might need them? I mean, who really needs a safe, sterile place to make one of your most difficult personal decisions of your life? I mean, you can just do that anywhere. Just squeeze it into a little schedule between Pilates and Safeway. He signs it, "Don't fuck with my sisters, their bodies, their choice, Scott Tickler."
I think
Well done.
Some of the posts that he does are wonderful.
So fucking smart.
Yeah, if you've ever heard me make reference to, when we talk about Scott Tickler here and there, but Victoria London is his drag name, which he rarely ever does drag because he's doing the Ren Fair and all that. But Scott he's something else with his...
Yes, and the same kind of, I mean, once Victoria London's on the mic, it's that same kind of banter,
right.
just smart, just quick.
Smart and quick, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's wonderful. I read that and enjoyed the shit.
I saw that you had. Before we ran out of this, I got two other short stories I just thought I would share with you. A 40th birthday outing ended on a sour note for Neil Edwards, who was the celebrant of his 40th birthday, and Lee Godoyne, who's 31. According to Metro News, after a few drinks, the two stopped for a cheeseburger on April 27th at a local McDonald's in Chester, England, where they found a duck waddling about the restaurant. Kindly, the men helped the waterfowl find its way out of the building, but then they ended up arguing over the duck, which then escalated into a brawl. When officers arrived, Gooden lunged at one of them, shouting about he had saved the duck. Then Edwards tried to jump in and extricate Goodwin from the policeman, only to be pepper sprayed. Both men were arrested and later admitted to both being intoxicated. There's no update on the duck's fate. And then this one I thought you would like, because you're a shoe guy.
Oh, we're gonna eat the ducks, and they're delicious.
No,
Oh, yeah.
No.
It
This one,
sounds awful, but I am down for some turducken
Harrison,
anytime
you
want to
would
serve
love
some.
Scott Tickler. Oh, for sure.
you either love them or you hate them, but if you're going to be mocked for your fashion sense, Crocs' latest style doubles your chances of getting mocked. Developed as part of a collaboration with Japanese streetwear company Beams, the new Crocs Sport tiny fanny packs are attached to the ankle straps. Here is a shot of the...
Stop it.
This is a joke.
Look, it
No,
almost,
it's not.
it almost says beans.
The
Yeah.
the
Right
50
after you're done scratching Yoda behind the ears, you can get your credit card out of your fucking heel.
The $53 shoes
Well,
come
you've been
in...
bent over already.
The $53 shoes come in teal and purple, and the miniature backpacks are big enough for keys, credit cards, and a few dollars, along with what's left of your dignity.
Well, plus It's at ground level. I mean, I know I'm older,
How
but
many people are looking
I do
at
not
it?
want to bend down to get shit.
Absolutely not.
Or am I gonna do like kick and put my leg up on the counter and be like, "Can you get my credit card out of there?"
That's fantastic.
Takes me 20 minutes at the gym to touch my toes. You think I'm getting a fucking
Can
credit
you-
card
can
out
you
of
kick
there?
that
Well,
out?
you'll have to think through what your
Probably.
purchase is.
Oh, okay.
I'm limber in that.
Right?
The legs
I
can
see,
still
and
go up.
I want to be able to spend my money irresponsibly and on a whim.
It helps people
from my
save
pocket
money.
where I'm supposed to.
It just
Right.
helps people save
You're
money.
just not understanding what fanny packs are. I mean, granted, I don't want to see you in that either.
Fanny packs are making a big time comeback.
I know.
I was thinking about how uncomfortable the grocery store
Okay,
line
here's-
just got.
Now,
Let me
Harrison
just bend
says,
over.
they just say, "Please hit me up." I say, they're the opposing team in dodgeball. Now you've got a reason to hit them.
Oh, the croc wearers?
Yeah. One side is
that's
entirely
Perhaps
Crocs
we
wearers.
gift them.
Right. They show up thinking, "Oh my God, we're a team.
And
we're in
the
matching
other team-
outfits."
We
The
got you
other
a
team
present. We
gets
got you
Crocs.
wonderful, comfortable footwear.
That's right.
That's
Wonderful.
wonderful.
comfortable.
Now, I've never worn one, but I've heard that they're very comfortable. Is that fact?
I
or do
don't
we
like
know?
them
Dirty
at
lie.
all. I don't like them at all.
I
I
don't
think
Why,
they're
why,
so
why would it
awful.
matter?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've
No, but
I'm sure
I've
wearing a
heard that,
colander on
no.
your head is comfortable and keeps you
mean,
from the
No,
sun.
no, I
but-
have been desperate for comfortable shoe wear, footwear, whatever you call those things
Sure.
that you put on your
Yes,
feet.
Yeah.
yes.
Wow.
There you have it.
Many,
Shall I Google that?
Yes.
If you want water, Helen, you've got to say it.
We'll call it
It's
shuffling
fair.
your iPod. I,
Repeat.
I still have the list up.
repeat.
Call me again. Call me again.
I can give you it's almost like dialing the
Yeah.
rotary phone, but a smaller gesture.
Swipe back.
strangling the Cyclops over there.
Good
The
Lord.
Cyclops cry.
I have been desperate for comfortable footwear
Oh.
for
Straight to the moon
years and
out.
years and years, right? I've tried on Crocs. I've tried on every foot gimmick. The Crocs were almost the worst.
Oh.
I hated them so bad.
They're
I
like hard and
I
unforgiving in a way.
I tried them on. I walked around the Macy's or wherever
That's
the
what
fuck I
she
was,
said.
Yeah.
and I couldn't get them off my feet fast
Have
enough.
you tried Dutch
They
wooden
were
shoes?
so awful. I actually would,
I have.
Wood.
Get it?
Oh!
but I have not had the opportunity.
Oh, well, if we figure out that, we order
Yeah.
some
Right
Dutch.
next to the dike. I mean, they're easy
No.
to find.
So,
There were clogs back in the day.
I don't
Clogs.
see them.
Clogs that came straight from
Hell.
Denmark.
Clogville.
Hell.
Straight from Denmark.
Yeah.
Were they a
Uh,
mule clog? Did they have no back to them?
Yes.
Uh huh.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Oh.
that was in the 80s.
That
Not
was,
a good
remember
look
the
on
good
anybody.
80s, bad
late
80s?
70s,
Oh, those
early
shoes.
80s, but they were more comfortable than Crocs.
Those
And that was
shoes and
just-
black. You remember black gas shoes? Somebody Google black gas shoes. GASS.
Not black ass.
No.
Black
gas.
gas.
GASS.
JSS, right.
I do not recall those.
Oh, those are off. Those are the two worst shoe choices
Or Florsheim.
ever in history. But the black gas shoe was my high school. All
say
the
that?
Say it
black
again.
gas
Gas.
shoes. If you went to
I
my
would-
high school, there'd be no
do
confusion.
they sell those down in LA on La Cienega?
Yes.
Just asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
What? No, I'm asking.
But I
According
gotta-
to
every-
Al, I'm
I'm
asking.
looking for
all the
Ross.
rocker chicks in my high school, God bless them, they all wore, and it was standard. If Gina is on, she'll back this up for me. They had feathered hair that
Yeah.
they didn't do anything with the back, so they only styled the front. They wore a rock concert T-shirt, Jordache jeans, and black gas shoes.
Okay.
This was the standard uniform for the rocker girls in my school, and it was just atrocious. And they would wear it every single day, and I'm like,
That looks like it was.
do
It
your
was
parents
just
not love you?
pre Doc Martin. Is that what happened? Because you're describing what should be a
Oh,
Doc Martin on your foot.
right?
Is
yeah,
it
but
just like the evolution right before the Doc
Yeah,
Martin came
probably.
across the pond?
it was like 81, 82, and just atrocious.
Because
Good
what
night,
I'm looking
Harrison.
at are just ugly floppy boots.
Oh yeah, these were not boots. These were like
Oh, wait. hang on. I think I have the picture.
GASS.
I don't know. I'm
Oh, wait.
aware. I'm aware.
Take your pick.
They were more like that one.
Like this one.
Yeah. But they said gas across the bottom.
Yes, they did
Yeah.
when you stepped in dirt or something.
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, you couldn't get away with murder.
Yeah, yeah. So that has to be a Doc Martin predecessor because the outfit feels familiar.
Yeah.
The footwear is a little different.
But the feathered hair not brushed in the back, and I seriously wanted to sit like a serial killer, sit in class and be like, "Can I just brush the
Brush
back
your
of your
hair,
fucking
yeah.
head? Do your parents not love you? Do you not have two mirrors in your house? One you can hold behind you?" It was atrocious, and I had the worst hair, so me picking on somebody's hair was not smart.
Right.
I had the Ronald McDonald like flip up nonsense that was just all out of control and curly and all the wrong. It was awful. Putting on the tight ski cap to try and straighten out my hair. All the things try to straighten out my hair.
I had some pretty
My
ill-advised
God.
mushroom cuts that not so good.
Yeah,
Not
because
so good.
feathering hair. Like why? Why did we spend a decade trying to do it?
Because mine does it beautifully.
Oh my God. And mine just does not.
Actually, Tim's did too.
Right. If you ever want
Had I
feathered
been
hair,
born,
boy oh boy.
like, earlier to where I could have been part of the whole 60s thing, I would have been just fine. Like the whole Beatles, just like
Straight hair.
Straight,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's all mine does. It
Oh.
does not move. It does not anything. That's why there's more product in it to get it to
I know.
do
Both of my sisters
anything.
had that like 70s perfectly straight hair, and I loved it. And they both like tried to do stuff with it, and I always loved that when they had the straight, beautiful, natural colored hair, like all the highlighting and stuff. That just came. And it's like, oh, you took beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? Why are
Yeah,
you changing
but it's
that?
that straight hair, curly hair thing. You know, somebody with curly hair was just like, why can't
All
they
they
have
want is
straight
curly
hair? And all they
Yeah.
want is some straight hair people. All they want is curly hair.
Yep.
Tail is old as
So yeah, fat girl just wants a donut. I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
right, are we moving
speaking
on?
of donuts, I've
Is it
recently
bit-
discovered the
oh.
24-hour boss of donuts over here on Central.
Is this the shoe? Is like
That's it.
okay, yeah.
Oh God.
Just
It's
like
very
a man.
pre-Doc Martin.
Yeah.
But
Those
now,
are
But they were.
horrible.
But
it
they.
looks
I
cushy.
would, I
like
would
it-
have worn some shit like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
those look
But
Today.
they were more suede-y. That's the thing that's missing. I feel like these are like the 2000s
The
version.
patent leather version.
The 80s version was like suede-y and
Yeah.
awful.
I get that.
And then you know how everything back east or where it snows has that ridge of like that salty
That
cum line.
salted- yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
This-
Wow.
okay.
The tartar
Okay.
sauce rainbow.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
I'm still reading from my list. Trying to work it in.
Wow.
What?
When they show, I put it the link, so we're all going to prison together. But when I typed in bishop masturbation,
Oh,
all
no.
the things
Oh,
that
I
are,
didn't
no.
click on the link.
I put the link up there. Just look at the head. Just look
Oh,
at
the
your top
things
10
you'll see.
choices. Oh,
The places you'll go.
I'm only buying you the ticket. I'm not actually driving you to these
Right.
places.
No, I just have a lovely BuzzFeed article with many, many choices.
And have we acknowledged that it's finally warm enough for some
Oh,
delightful
thank God it's
rosé?
rosé
It's
season.
rosé season. White women rejoice. The
'Cause-
pumpkin lot.
Because they're so very downtrodden.
I just want to
the
say
year.
we break up over the pumpkin spice, but boy, do we bond hard over the pink over the
Yeah.
rosés.
Yeah.
Sure.
Be
It
afraid.
ebbs and flows like the tide.
Yes. These
Like
are the
shucking
gays of our
corn.
lives.
And then some. Oh Jesus Christ! This friend of mine from New York got all up on her soapbox about me saying like, you know, basic white woman with slightly fancy taste in rosés because I bought like a really good
Right.
rosé champagne and then 2 like $10 bottles of rosé.
Right.
Oh, I got this whole lecture about comparing myself to a woman, and I'm like, I'm just gonna delete
Who
that
are you
shit.
friends? Who are these friends of yours?
It was just one of the. It was just nonsense, and I'm like, it was a joke about the rosé, not about not about a woman. Like Jesus Christ, I just delete. I'm like, you know what? I can't even today. I just looked at him and like, no,
I'm not
you're
trying
done.
to mansplain basic
Yeah.
white women to you. I'm trying to join your tribe.
Yeah.
Is the retort that you should have
Yeah,
had.
there we go. Now I got it.
Yeah.
Good night, Harrison, if we didn't already say that. Good night, darling. Well, going from one entertaining segment to another, let's try this, Al, see what we can do with it.
We only have a couple things to talk about. I finally got to the end of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and it was a delight.
Oh, good.
Madonna's gonna be performing, and
With her new ass in tow.
I am sad to say
It's
that
a
with
dancer.
all my working.
No, she got a new ass. She got implants.
She did not. She does
Got
not
a
need
whole
implants.
she got a whole new ass.
She's had a nice ass this whole
Madge,
time.
I'm soaking in it.
So I am sad to say I have not seen Rocket Man yet, but so I cannot comment on that.
Well, we'll get there eventually, I'm sure. All right, we'll be back with Al talking about other stuff in a minute.
Oh my God, is this not your mother's recipe?
Yes, and now I'm passing it on to you. So try to keep up.
You're listening to Q Talk America. is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Well, it's lovely.
It is lovely. It's lovely because it's hour 3. Welcome back, boys, girls, and everything in between, and all the ships at sea. I've not welcomed them for a while, except the John McCain. We got to keep that out of sight.
Hey!
We can't have that one.
Back it up.
Cover it. Hide it somewhere. Bullshit. Anywho, welcome back. Last hour, seriously, show 389B. You might just want to listen to that one on its own. And it's not safe for work.
No.
But I'll tell you that. Well, most of our show isn't.
No,
Right.
I can't imagine a whole episode where we were ever safe for
Not really, no.
public
But if
consumption.
you're just at home blowing your own horn, listen away.
Oh, wow. I
You
love
know, I
it.
was shopping for euphemisms recently.
Well, a man
Doing the 5-finger shuffle.
who does toot his own horn a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, Al Perkins.
Oh, if only I was that limber. How kind.
Get some Crocs and stretch.
Yeah, right?
Exactly. Keep reaching for that credit card, honey. Oh my god. So when Matt brings it up with the Aladdin movie, and I am having I want to see it, I really do. Just out of curiosity to how they're doing these live actions.
I need to see how they did it. That's what I want to see.
But and it's not just the comparison with Robin Williams, because I was worried about that with the stage production of Aladdin, where our Aladdin was just phenomenal.
Super fun. Yeah.
And that it's very easy to make that your own, to take that character that's written so joyfully and with so much humor, to make that fun.
Yeah.
But I just
But it could be really easy for Will Smith to ruin the fuck out of it. too.
yeah.
But I heard that he has not at all.
Yeah, so I just
don't
have to
care.
like be brave and go in and do it, and I'm hoping that some of the songs that made it to the stage musical will make it backwards back into the movie. I'm not sure how they're gonna play that.
I don't know.
I'm not a huge fan.
I do too.
This movie coming out looks astonishing. Like I'm just reading about the technology and how it was filmed, and the first like completely digital, that they're not trying to interject any humans, so that the way that they could do like the camera angles through this digital imagery, and like I guess it's just the film, the way it's made is just scrumptious to the eyes.
Talking about your Aladdin, though, one of the randomly, again, YouTube, you get sucked into the whatever universe. You Google one thing, you're in 17 different things. I watched, because I had not seen it. I feel like we talked about it, or it was a different movie, one of the two. James Corden and the cast, some of the people from Aladdin in what is it called? They call it Crosswalk.
Oh, crosswalk
Broadway.
musicals.
Yeah.
I
Oh
love
my
those.
God! Watching
Oh,
them
I didn't
do
see that one.
"Friend Like Me," and "Friend Like Me" and the main song,
Whole New World.
"Whole New World."
Don't you dare close your eyes.
No.
When they're a whole new world, when they're on a pallet with a carpet draped over it on the front of a forklift, and they're going across the traffic. They film, because they shoot the reactions of the people in the cars waiting for this to clear. It's priceless.
I mean, there's got to be people that are delighted by it, and people are like, why do I live in this fucking neighborhood?
Right, but it's
move to Burbank.
This
instead.
fucking
move
guy,
to
yeah.
Burbank.
Right.
It's gonna be fun.
well, actually,
It's a bedroom community.
Actually, Television City's not. It's right there in downtown L.A. It's right.
Oh, so he doesn't film in Burbank.
No, he's actually at Television City. So, but it's so funny to watch, because you can see the CBS building behind. It says, Television City and all that shit. But it's brilliant. If you can, look it up on YouTube. What'd you call it? Broadway?
Crosswalk musicals.
Crosswalk musicals. And then they all...
Because they try and time it for the
Right.
time that the crosswalk is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For the walk
They
sign.
get like
Yeah,
27 seconds
And
or whatever.
some of them honk and try to drive through it. It's just...
The
it's-
best one was Hair.
Funny
I'm
shit.
sorry.
Oh,
the
yeah.
best one was Hair.
I haven't
did
seen
love
that. I'll
Hair.
have to write
You'll
that
have
down.
to.
Look. Okay, Hair, Crosswalk musical.
Yeah, that one was really funny.
Got it.
Yeah.
Continue.
Something to look for. Yeah, and then the Prince Ali having him shirtless. Sure, let's do it. Nothing wrong with that. So, and Rocket Man, I am just not myself this week. I didn't even check box office numbers like I
Goodness.
do, like I'm a Hollywood mogul. I usually check my Monday morning coffee and my box office numbers, see how everybody did.
I had never heard you say that.
Oh yeah, boxofficemojo.com. I check it like 3 times a week. I check the forecast, see how they did projecting, what movies are
How do
coming
you think
out.
he knows how much every movie makes all the time?
No,
Yeah,
I,
that's
has to
always-
have
yeah.
read
I get
something.
that. I know he reads a lot, but I didn't know that he actually went to a website and checked it on the regular like that.
Oh yeah, boxofficemojo.com.
Wow.
Movies all the way back. If they have stats on them, then I've seen them. Because you always want to know who's going to keep making movies. Like,
Right.
We knew Katherine Heigl's career
What is
was over.
What is the highest grossing movie to be released that never made it to number one?
Titanic.
No.
Oh, no, because it did eventually. Titanic's the one that didn't start at number
Highest grossing movie that never made it to number one.
1. I don't know.
Sing, the animated feature.
Oh, yeah.
I only know because it was
That's
a trivia.
cute, too.
It
It's
was a
cute.
trivia question last night in my thing. I was like, "Oh, really?" And then I thought of you because I'm like, "Oh, I wonder if Al knows that."
Yeah, because Titanic didn't. Its first week, it wasn't number 1. It was number 1 every week after.
Oh no, I'm not saying just in the first
Right,
week.
right,
Just
right,
it
yeah.
never made it number one. Yeah. I've never seen the movie either, but you say it's cute.
Oh,
I'm
it's
like,
cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that on a plane. It was very cute.
Okay.
I was like, all right, I got it done.
All right.
And it makes you want to look up Tori Kelly more.
Oh yeah. And Rocket Man, I'm very curious about. It looks
Very curious about.
I've heard nothing but good things. So far, all the exit reviews that we're seeing on Facebook are all good.
Yeah, me too.
I like that nobody's worrying about spoilers because people got all up in arms last week. Did Drag Race end or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what all this? Because all of a sudden, like Game of Thrones was over, but there was a whole other week of like gays having shit fits about
Yeah.
spoilers. It's
Put
real
your
simple.
phone down,
Put your
dummies.
phone down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what we do at the Oscars. Do not read aloud
Right.
from your social media.
Put your phone down.
Yeah. And if you care that much, you got a day. You know what I mean?
Right.
You get one day,
Get it done.
and then you
17
just gotta
bars in
watch
town
it.
showed Drag Race that night.
Yeah.
You
can
need to
find
put
it.
the as much effort into seeing it as you are bitching about not seeing it. That's about that. So is that what the big brouhaha was about?
Oh, from
Probably.
Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was
There was all the yelling and screaming
Right.
at each other on the pages.
Yeah. I couldn't have cared less.
Because I was like, I don't know what. I was like, I don't even know what ended.
Listen.
Oh, but So You Think You Can Dance started yesterday.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that somebody posted a picture of the Final Four for RuPaul, and I'm there every fucking week, and I went, who's this bitch? She's in this show?
Yeah. Didn't pay attention.
Yeah, had no idea. There was a fourth one that I was like,
Couldn't even tell you their names.
who-
I host it every week, and I'm like, I don't know
Yeah.
who these people are.
I could do 3 out of 4, but there was one that I was like, did they sneak her in last minute? Did they like bring her back from another show? Where the fuck did she come from?
Yeah.
Who is that? And she didn't win, so
Thank God.
Still
Because you
nobody.
never met
And
her.
it's,
Yeah.
and it's funny, the show they do before the finale is the
awful.
reunion
Ugh.
where they all sit and they all bash each other back and forth about the
So
season.
boring.
But what's interesting to me is because they start eliminating queens from the first week.
there were 75
and I'm like,
of them, right?
I don't even was she even on the show? I don't even know. Like the first 5 they talked to,
Right.
I don't even know who you are.
They might be sneaking people
Right,
in
from
that
other
weren't even in
shows,
there.
nobody cares. No.
Who knows?
I do that with I watch Project Runway, and by the time because that should
Same song.
Yeah, by the time you get to I'm like, oh yeah, the one that got eliminated the first week. I vaguely remember that. I know I
Yeah.
cried that week, but clearly, I don't know
Don't cry
because
for
there's
me,
so many. And
Argentina.
they only review 6 people. The top. I don't know if they do Drag Race too, where they
Tops
don't
and
review.
bottoms, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. See,
Oh.
same
Same
song.
show. It's the
Do
same
you
show,
know?
honey.
Do you know in Project Runway how many weeks do they film that? How
Oh,
long
it's
is
over
it?
the course of like 8 days or something terrifying.
Right. So in Drag Race is done in 2 weeks. They
Yeah.
they shoot an entire season in 2 weeks, and that's why. And I mean they stretch out. I get why. Blah blah blah. But it's interesting when you realize what they're put through in 2 weeks, and I'm sure Project Runway the same. They're just fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
They have just been pushed to the limit for that period
Because
of
the
time.
the first season I watched of Project Runway, I was like, why are y'all so tired? You've had like 5 days off. Like they only have 2-day challenges. And I was like, oh my God, they just went right backstage. Like it's
Yeah.
day 5 and they're on their 6th challenge and not sleeping. And at some points they do we're going to fly you to Paris for something. Or the one year they flew them to Paris or flew them to London. And it was an overnight from LA to Paris or and they were there for like 20 hours. And then they had to come back and make stuff. And I'm like, oh dear God, that's just
my gosh.
now you're just at danger. Like people need like actual quality sleep. No wonder they're having nervous breakdowns. And according to Anant Jafar, in the new version is hot too. I've not seen any stills, but the picture that he provided of the boy playing Aladdin was lovely.
The picture of him prior to the Aladdin character I like better, but he doesn't look that good as Aladdin to me from what I've seen. But I'm gonna look up the Jafar. I'll look that up. You could continue on.
So You Think You Can Dance started back again. I
Lovely.
was Googling. I did not know if they'd been renewed, but clearly they had. They had their out-of-town tryouts. And I did not watch yesterday, but I have a feeling from the ads that White Josh from
Crazy
Ex-Girlfriend
Ex-Girlfriend.
is one of the judges because he's a terrific dancer.
Is he?
And eagle-eyed viewers will see him dirty boy any clips that you saw of Harry Potter doing How to Succeed in Business on Broadway, he was in all the dances, and he was also Harry Potter's understudy. So he
makes a lot
often
of
got to
sense.
play the lead, and there are some videos out there if you're curious as to how good a singer or dancer he is outside of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, to see him doing I think it's The Company Way. What's the big dance number? I can't think what the
Brotherhood of Men.
Brotherhood of Man, yeah. So, and then Crazy Ex-Girlfriend ended. I stayed up last night for just one of the greatest treats as far as endings of shows go. Just a complete and total home run of, they went down that road of like, we're going to explore mental health and we're going to do it in song, and it just turned out to be a great payout. I could have probably done it in 12 episodes, what they took 17 to do, but just delirious fun and laugh out loud comedy. And one woman thinks she's in menopause, but she's really having a heart attack over 2 days because she's too stressed. And like they have to
Is it
sneak her,
Paula?
yeah, when they have to
Paula.
sneak her out to take her bar exam because the doctor's too busy to sign her out, and if she leaves AMA, her insurance won't pay for it against medical advice.
Right.
So she can't leave without the doctor, so they have to go through the morgue to sneak her out, like out of 9 to 5. Like they do the whole plot to 9 to 5
Those are short in the trunk.
to get her so she can take her bar exam and make it back to the hospital bed. Just delightful, delightful fun. And then
Violet, could you come back here for a minute, please?
yeah, Violet, honey.
Atta girl.
So disrespectful.
The fuck am I doing talking to
And
you?
then the big surprise was, if you're wondering why I said 17 episodes and your Netflix clearly says 18 and so does your DVR, it's because they did a live concert from, I think, the Pantages Theater
Oh, fun.
in Hollywood with the cast performing live, and it's called Yes, We Really Are Singing Our Own Songs.
Oh.
And what a phenomenal piece of entertainment that last episode was. And there's the song about an ode to antidepressants that's just hysterical, like all the reasons why she should go on the medication and not, as one character's having a heart attack and they're trying to tell her to take care of herself, and the one that won't go on the antidepressants even though she's mentally ill, she decides she has to, and of course she imagines a song about antidepressants. Well, live on stage they turned it into this phenomenal tap dance, which is usually a specialty. A lot of people can dance and move and fake their way, but tap is so specific and takes the dedication, and the fact that like 10 members of the cast stood in the middle and did a legitimate tap solo
Fantastic.
live on stage was just phenomenal. And it was like Rockettes level good. Because I was like, God damn, you people are talented. Including the tall one, who I think is just a boy band singer, the boss. Clifton Pixton III or whatever his name
Sure.
is. Eric Joffrey. I don't know what his name is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, turns out, fucker can tap. Like, not only does he sing that well and do all the... Because they usually make him do, like, crooner songs. All of a sudden, he's in the tap line. I'm like, motherfucker. Sweet. And it's just a treat. They do all the sex songs as a medley on a bed. And a period sex, which is just the most... They don't do tap that ass, but they do period sex. And all the reasons why period sex is okay. And it's just... so much of it. And then because there's so many jokes about how much she hates cats and how stupid Cats is, and when she goes to prison and like she's trying to get the girls to put on the cell block tango, she wants to get them to do Chicago.
Oh my god, I just watched that the other day.
Then somebody goes, okay, you're not even supposed to be in prison, but they're making a point about people taking responsibility for their mental illness. So she insists on going to jail. She's very white privilege, and they point that out to her. But she's like, she insists on going to jail. And they're like, well, are you going to stay here long enough to put on Cats? She's like, I would never do Cats. And then she gets a yeast infection because she's trying to save money by wearing cheap yoga pants.
Sure.
So she gets a yeast infection, and then she doubles up on the medication to cure it faster, and she ends up with her pH all wrong. And she's got a smelly pussy. So they have what's his face from SNL doing Scratchy Cat. So he's following her around doing this whole song and dance called Scratch. Fred Armisten's doing Scratchy Cat. Then they have when Funky Pussy, they have Funky Cat because she's ready for her date, and her friend is like, "Oh my God, what is that smell?" And then she finds out she can go on the date. He's gonna bring, his mom's a gyno, so he understands. So he's gonna bring an air freshener as long as she wears thick yoga pants and has a room fan. I mean, it's just like the show is so fucking. They're so creative.
Yeah.
What show is this?
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Okay. I missed that, and I thought we were still on the dance show. And I'm like, what the fuck?
No, it is, because then their last episode was a live show in L.A., and they actually, it's called We Are Really Singing Our Own Songs.
I get that.
And they all performed. And then, but at the one point, she has to clean up the glitter, because every song ends with a glitter cat in the show. So she's always on stage trying to clean it up, and all of a sudden, because all the cosplayers, just like when I saw the Schitt's Creek when they were all dressed as Moira, of course, everyone is dressed as all the different dance characters. So at one point, she invites Funky Cat to come up and help her clean the stage. So they both have brooms, and they're cleaning up the glitter, and she's like, this is a metaphor for something in my life, and I don't know what it is. That the embodiment of my stinky pussy is helping me clean up glitter. And I'm like, oh my God, this woman is so funny. Like, she can, delightful.
Wow.
Delightful. And it really was, after all the tortures of all the people not liking endings and controversy.
Right.
This one just ended smartly. All the characters got a nice little, not a tidy send-off, but they got a send-off. Like, it wasn't like tidy endings. And then Pride this month, because it's the 50th anniversary, so New York Pride coming up. The headliner has been, and if Doug was here, he would argue with me, but
Did you already
Madonna.
Did you already send that to me or no? The wheel?
Oh, no, not yet.
Okay.
So
I'll do that now.
Worldwide superstar and LGBTQ activist Madonna announced Monday she will perform a set on Pride Island as part of the city's World Pride celebration, taking the stage on Sunday, June 30th to close out the event. According to Pride Island's website, the 60-year-old will take the stage in Manhattan at Hudson River's Pier 97 for a couple of songs as the two-day celebration's final act. She's got to do Holiday. I mean, we'll have to...
Gosh, I hope so.
I don't understand
What,
why...
did somebody tell her she couldn't?
Every once in a while, she does that thing where she's like, I'm sick of performing Holiday. We're not. That's what we came for.
Right.
So for once the rumors are true, Madonna is coming to Pride. And I just think that's really cool. She has been a great advocate, a vocal advocate, sometimes phrasing things wrong, sometimes getting in trouble. But she's always been, and especially in the war against HIV and AIDS. I mean, she was an early supporter of people and really standing up to power and being the first one to tell people to, stand up and fight and shut up and fuck off. And again, it's not that people always want it to be polite, and the revolution will not be televised, nor will it be convenient for your traffic schedule.
Right.
And she was one of the ones leading up the charge. And one of the first celebrities I remember ever saying anything about it or ever mentioning it, really in a big ass way, fake or not. Right. But
yeah.
Oh, back then, her, Liz Taylor.
Liz Taylor.
Yeah.
Who else?
But Liz Taylor didn't have the platform by the 80s that Madonna was doing it in concerts in front of Mike. Oh, no. No, I mean, Elizabeth Taylor was making the money and doing the hard work. Honest to God, I mean, no disrespect to her at all.
Sure.
All the millions of dollars she raised.
Yeah.
But just someone with
But
that
not that
kind
same
of
platform.
and somebody that was reaching out to a very young audience at the time. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Because it was long ago that Madonna was in her 20s.
The old queens were paying attention to Liz Taylor. The new queens were paying attention to Madonna.
That's very true.
So I mean, and again, it's where Doug and I would argue, but everyone in their own way. Like if she had your ear, that's what she was talking about. So
that's right.
Good for her.
And now I was talking earlier about Jafar in the new. So this is obviously the animated character next to the actor who plays Jafar. So decent looking boy.
Oh, he's cute.
And then
Decent looking boy.
Decent looking boy there.
Do you need all your
There's
glasses?
picture 2 is coming, Alfred.
Oh.
Wow.
I just got rid of my pants. I went all He-Man over here.
There's picture 2.
Put your pants back on.
Oh,
Both
I think
fine.
the first one
I like
was
the first
much
one way
cuter.
better.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to assume Jafar was shirtless in this movie at some point. I'm guessing. I don't know.
I think that he just might take his shirt off in real life. But look at that.
Yeah.
He's real cute.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of reasons to go to the to Aladdin, take a towel.
Or a wig.
Yeah.
If you're in
Never had a
Idaho.
friend like me. Apparently, there's that.
Also, remember, it's still a crime to do that in public.
Yeah.
Pee-wee.
Just don't peek in windows.
Speaking
Another joke from Rent that's a little dated.
The Pee-wee Herman, yeah.
Speaking of that, guess who was just here at Fan Fusion, which is the Comic-Con in Phoenix that was here last
It's not
weekend?
Pee Wee Herman. I'm going to be.
Paul Rubin was here. A friend of mine, Sam Martinez, is the moderator when they do the panels and they all talk about different to the audience. Paul Rubens was there. Not only did he have his own security detail, he was wearing a bulletproof vest, and Phoenix cops were there too to protect him. He would not appear, and I'm like, who the fuck is chasing Paul Rubens at
All
this
he
point?
did was touch himself in a theater, and people.
But I
settled
don't know,
down.
like
he didn't touch anybody else.
I just thought that was odd that after all of this time, like, did he do something else that I don't know about?
Right.
Like, are people pissed because Pee Wee's Playhouse is off the air? I don't know what.
They are very angry about that
I'm
because
trying to use the phone.
because if you go back and watch, and that's
Oh,
all.
I love that
If
show.
you really want to go down a wormhole or a rabbit hole with Pee Wee's Playhouse, that's some trippy fucking shit.
Oh, it is. I enjoyed the hell out of Pee Wee's
yeah, I was
Playhouse.
high, so I had a
Well,
reason to
there's
be
that.
enjoying it. 'Cause
But
that
I
was
just thought it was so
different,
odd that he was like full on bulletproof vest, security detail, and Phoenix police were there.
It's very sad that that is still
Right.
still necessary. Let me think if I have anything else in entertainment. Oh, coming up. Coming up. This Sunday is
Tony Awards,
Yeah,
I
Tony
just
Awards.
had the page open. I got to go back.
June 9th. Oh, my mom's birthday. My God, I should call her.
Please do.
Good to
Oh,
know that
I
we
just
looked at the
opened up.
calendar.
Big Little Lies this Sunday.
Oh,
The
no.
Handmaid's Tale
Never.
coming soon, and Dark, which was the kind of Germany strange. Maybe nope. I think I'm getting that wrong.
I don't know what this is. I'm gonna look it up.
I hate when I accidentally, because this thing is fast. All right, let's click on Dark. So, set in a German town, disappearance of two young children exposes the relationships among four families. It was kind of a German Stranger Things. It was Netflix, very weird. But now somebody has to tell me because I confuse it with the story of the boys that go out camping and the one kid gets hurt and they all lie about it.
Stand by Me.
No.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
It's from like last year. It was a Netflix. It was another show on Netflix.
I got nothing.
I'll have to. I think it was called Dirty Secrets. Dirty. All right, I'll
have
find
no
that one.
idea.
But I confuse those two shows all the time. Let me type in Dirty and see what happens.
Oh.
Don't write Dirty Bishop.
No.
That's they're very different. Very different.
Oh God! So
Dirty
hopefully
John, Dirty Money.
Dirty whore.
Black Money.
Something.
So any dirty secret things. Let me. I'll find it. But if somebody's listening and you can email me.
Secret City. I don't know. I'm just googling Netflix and things that you say.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'll. Dirty Little Secret. No, I will. Oh, damn it! I'll find it. Anyways, it was a great mini series about the boys on an adventure, and it was
Camp Cool Kids.
no, and it
Killing
was
Ground.
very disturbing. I'll find it
All right.
and I'll report
A
back.
package. No, I'm not kidding.
But I know.
That's not a euphemism. I did not go to that list yet.
So there you go. That's entertainment. So hopefully Rocket Man, Ma, I want to see the horror movie with Octavia Spencer.
Yeah,
Looks
I do too.
wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've seen the
And
previews
good
and it
for
just kind
her.
of
I just
fucks
think
you
it's
up.
so exciting that
Yeah.
she's like, okay, like I'm doing this, and I just think it's fucking awesome.
I'm the most nominated African American woman in Oscar history.
I'm gonna do what I want.
I'll do what the fuck I
do
want.
what I want.
And
Atta girl.
I like how they're very excited to set.
It's not good. Wait, what's happening? Oh,
The dirty, yeah.
Google.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
We
like, wait
told
a minute.
you.
I thought
We
you meant the
told
movie.
you.
That's funny.
So lots of stuff coming up. So hopefully I'm going to spend time in the.
Yeah,
in
because
the
all the
movie
summer
theaters.
releases should be coming out. Like
Right.
we're in the dry spell right now because all of the spring season has ended and all the summer stuff hasn't hit yet.
Right, because when do all the schools are they all out? Starting like
Ours
They're
ours has
all
been
out.
out for a
Yeah.
week.
oh they're
We're
all
out.
out, are they?
Yeah, we're out.
Yeah, before Memorial
realize.
Day. Yeah.
Didn't realize.
Yeah, easily
Yeah.
before Memorial Day.
Don't have a lot of reason to pay attention to when schools are in.
No,
for me,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
only know from driving home through school zones.
Right, I
Oh,
agree.
Valid, and I don't
The
drive
school
through a school
zones.
zone.
Yep.
And now that we put no parking signs on our street, the kids from school don't park here anymore, so I never see them anyway. So I do, but no. Totally off topic, but two things off topic. One, I just saw this headline just popped up. Carnival, if you take cruises, Carnival Cruise Line has been slapped with a $20 million fine after it was caught dumping trash into the ocean again after a 2017 conviction for the same problem.
Yeah.
Carnival Cruise Lines got popped again. Dumbasses.
Jump change.
No,
It's a
get right.
pittance for them.
But still, I'm like,
Yeah,
why would you shit in your own nest? Like you're a cruise line. You're on the seas. Why would you put shit in the
water?
Right,
Right. That's
come
gonna
on.
float back up with your name on it. So now
Right, that's a good point.
Yeah.
All the cups are gonna float around. Guess
I
what?
can't remember what cruise line we took. God, I think it was Carnival that we took down the Mexican coast. But the one in Alaska was the Holland America line. Oh my God, they had, and I had never heard of this shop, the Naturalist that's on board there. That like is just out. He's just a docent for the great outdoors. So he's like standing at, and they
So
might
he's just an annoying
there may
know-it-all
have
standing
been
there to interrupt
may
you.
have been another one. Yeah, it was what Cliff from Cheers, just standing at the railing. That was there to explain everything to you, and they were just on you about, is that plastic in your hand? Do you have somewhere to dump it? It's a little windy. What are you gonna do with that cup? Like they were on you on that ship to make sure you were not littering. And like even if you were like, there was somebody walking the deck at night to be like, nope, get that back in. That's gonna blow away. Like just keeping that clean. So it's very disappointing to hear that. But the Naturalist would be there to explain like what you were looking at geographically, like what the mountains were called. And we just kept finding the cute guy. There probably were other ones, but we just kept finding him. And it was just so wonderful to have that person there that is looking at like, what am I looking at? Well, here you go. And he would explain it to you.
Oh, that's handy.
And it was fascinating.
At first it sounded annoying, but now it seems charming.
Yeah, because you're just going through Alaska and you know, what the hell?
My mom is asking you if you have watched What If.
Oh, no, I
And
haven't.
I haven't heard of that.
Renee
What If?
Zellweger.
Renee Zellweger,
Triumphant
Netflix.
Return.
Yeah. Supposedly very good, but like I said,
Is that Netflix or?
yeah,
Is that,
Yeah.
Okay.
yes. Crazy
Yeah.
Ex-Girlfriend did a lot of
It's
episodes.
very, it's like Indecent Proposal, the series. Is
right,
what
right.
it is.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
hearing really good things about that.
Mom
too.
mentioned that last week when I was up there. I wondered. I
Yeah.
completely forgot, but I'm glad she
I don't
reminded.
have a lot of interest.
The
but
other
we're in the
thing
dry
was,
spell,
and it's
so
been
maybe.
all over Facebook everywhere. I assume all of you have seen it at some point. Cody Lee on America's Got Talent.
Oh, charming.
Oh my
don't know who
gosh!
that is.
It was. Just crying, just
I
sitting there
watched
watching.
it because you put that
Yeah,
up.
it was-
And I was like, okay.
I didn't know what to expect, and when he sat down, he opened his mouth and just sang. I was like, it's
That's
just
a blind kid.
yeah, the blind autistic
yeah.
kid,
He has autism.
22 years old, and he just sat there, and it was just astounding to me.
I'm an
and-
asshole. I started the video. I didn't have
Well,
the patience to watch
there
him walk
were,
across
you
the
know,
stage.
there were a number of people because of the my career, right?
Right.
That
Went out and bought pianos.
people are fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, just fucking annoying.
We don't like them.
And I'm going to include in that, right or wrong of me. God, I hope nobody that I work with listens to that. The some of the family members of people with autism that decided to blow up about that and get pissy because people with autism can't handle that kind of noise. People with autism can't handle people coming up to them and hugging them. People with autism, and they clumped
Clearly
the
he
fuck out
can.
of these people. Right, because people with autism are just like anybody else, if
Yeah.
you will, with the fact that there are different levels,
Right, varying
of,
degrees.
varying degrees of what this means or what they can or can't handle.
And they're not dead. They're able to learn and adapt as
Well,
well.
correct.
To-
but
I mean, to
a degree,
different
right,
degrees
right,
for
right.
sure.
But I mean, like, so you're typically right when you picture that huge theater. And all of the people and all of the noise and all of the, I mean, the lights don't matter because you're
Right.
blind.
Right.
But you can feel them.
Right.
Right?
You
I
can-
mean, the heat and whatever. But still, is it typical that somebody with autism can handle that kind of thing? No. I mean, not typically for the people that I've worked with in the last 30 years. But that doesn't mean that Cody Lee can't handle it.
Right,
But
you-
also isn't a feature of autism like a hyper focus on their savant ability, right?
For
so
certain people.
for certain
Some
people, right?
yeah,
so
yeah.
so being able to perform his talent,
Right.
I
And
think it was singing and pianoing. I
Yes.
But my thing at the end was I was like, wow, I really hope, and I got that walking out may not have had the same effect because the crowd was quiet as he walked out.
Yeah.
But then when they all rushed, that was the first thing I
Erupted.
thought when they
Yes.
rushed up to hug him. I'm like, did we do a little research? Or
My
give
favorite thing was Simon Cowell, though. This is Simon.
Right. And he says,
And-
"Hi, Simon."
I thought that was awesome. I was like, well played, Simon.
Yeah,
Cowell.
and I really, and that's just what I thought because he's lacking one sense, and now there's people that he doesn't know what they look like or smell like that are all
You're
of a
right.
sudden like just on him. And and the first thing I saw was like Howie Mandel. I'm like, you are so fucked up in the head with all your
Right.
things.
You're a germaphobe
Like,
and all
you
that
should-
stuff.
And I really was surprised to see. I'm like, obviously they did some editing of how he was approached,
Yes.
but because I was like, especially if you lost your sense of sight,
And
having
you have
those
all
people.
these things falling on you.
Yeah, there was the
and-
confetti cannon. I thought that too. I'm like, there's a lot of triggers in this that I'm like, they must have really had to clear. Like, can we do this? What do we have to warn him about?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What might there be? Sure. But the
So it
comments
did go through. Yeah. But to assume it
and
was
I
fake, I
agree.
couldn't imagine.
And not just assuming that it was fake. It was that to me they were putting. They don't want their children to be put into a box
Right.
and looked at and stereotyped.
But
and
they
all
had
But
that
that's
box
what they're
ready.
doing.
Yeah, but
But
they
that's
had that
exactly what
box
they
ready.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
And slammed it shut
Yeah.
right away. He has autism. There's no way. Huh? Yeah, there is. We just watched it. You know.
Yeah, but again, I
What,
don't.
a lifetime of support and services helped him function? That's so weird. I
You've
wonder
gotta
why we
be
put our
kidding
kids
me.
through all of these
Right.
fucking services.
But you know what I also thought too was music therapy. Like, what a beautiful thing music therapy is.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
the one thing that,
Yes.
and maybe he is that calm. Maybe he gets a nice afterglow from.
Absolutely.
Well, and
Yeah.
what his mom said that this saved his life, like live in his world, and like even Simon says, I have no idea what it's like to live in that world, but that's his outlet. Like that is his is his sanity, if you will.
That's right.
To get
That's right.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like you
that
said,
was
they
amazing.
focus on the what'd you call their
the savant ability.
Yeah.
Like,
Right,
what-
right.
Yeah, yeah.
like if they're an accountant, they're a fucking accountant, and like every number, everything.
Well, and
like
think
a Rain
about
Man.
it with Temple Grandin, right? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I do not.
Nope.
Temple Grandin is
Played by what's her face in the movie?
Claire Danes.
Claire Danes the movie.
Claire Danes played Temple Grandin, but Temple Grandin went to ASU, has like I don't know how many fucking degrees. She's the one that came up with like the weighted, kind of the weighted blanket, the weighted vest.
Okay.
And but she, in essence, did the what she actually engineered was for cattle to be humanely slaughtered, and it's the putting them in the thing so that they can't move, so that it's like a tight hug on them.
And then you shoot him in the head.
I've
Well,
never wanted to hug a
but-
cow in my life.
No, but it's
They are
something
dumb
that
dirty
folks,
animals.
a
You don't
know
lot
what
of
the
folks
cow
with
wants.
autism,
I don't give a
anxiety, different things will use a weighted blanket or the weighted vest, something,
Right.
and that pressure. And so what she created was something where rather than moving around and they're scared and they're this and that, she
It
like
calmed
watched this
them.
and they're brought into this thing and something kind of holds them in place basically, and just not too tight, but just so that they can't fly around, and they're a hell of a lot more calm and it's more humane. And she's the one that created that.
But they have the
engineering, and
aren't they called
she's-
like thunder jackets or something like
Right.
thunder vests?
Vest kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They
we
use it
ta-
for dogs a lot
Yep.
who freak out for thunder and lightning and,
And
so forth.
she is someone who has
I feel very secure.
autism. I don't know if it's more Asperger's. I'm not a
it's-
diagnostician, but
And isn't
she
she the
goes
one-
around and talks to people.
But isn't she the one that hugs a lot too? She's the one that kind of.
She's very awkward. I honestly don't know about
Now
that.
I
I'm gonna
can't-
actually on your birthday. I think I'm gonna get to meet her, so
Watch-
that's kind of exciting.
Watch. Why is she coming to your party?
I don't know.
Yeah.
This is news to
Happy
me.
birthday
Do
to
I
you.
get a thunder jacket?
Watch.
we're gonna humanely slaughter you.
Google Claire Danes winning the Emmy for playing
Yes,
her.
you're right. You're right.
And I feel like there's something, like maybe she's up. Maybe
well, because
she's.
she like stood up really fast and was like so
Yeah.
excited and just she's
I can't remember like
awkward in her
watching her. I was like, oh, she's a
presenta- yeah.
toucher. Like I wouldn't be able to sit next to her. Like too much touching.
And I don't know if that's true. I think it was
but-
just that.
Yeah, but I can't remember. I just
yeah.
remember there just being something awkward there and be like, oh, she's
But
a
I mean,
toucher.
every person is
me.
just very.
Because I saw the award show before I saw the movie, so I
Right.
didn't know what the movie
Right.
was about.
One interesting thing about when I heard
But it
about
really
Thunder
is
Jackets
fascinating.
and all of the weighted stuff
Yeah.
over the past few years, I've been hearing about it. I remember it's like one of the good memories I have of being around my father when I was younger. Mom,
I
pay
know.
attention. There's one.
You have my attention.
For some reason, I actually think it's somebody he dated at the time sewed a lot of stuff and made blankets like a bedspread out of denim. And it was done in squares. It was all like light and dark denim, blah blah. But it was heavy as hell. And I remember sleeping. I was a young kid.
Yeah.
I had to be 5, 6, whatever I was. But I remember sleeping
like
under
a
that
denim
blanket.
quilt.
No, it wasn't a quilt. It was like you had your flat, like your sheet, and then over it was like a denim blanket.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it wasn't necessarily.
bedspread, perhaps?
It wasn't necessarily for warmth, but I do remember it was very heavy, and I also remember how secure I felt as a kid.
Sure.
Just you're wrapped in this, kind of like when they swaddle babies. I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
when they're all
That's-
wrapped up.
That is the theory behind all
But
of it.
it's interesting how,
right.
and I've often wondered.
And you think about that.
I've wondered
still.
as an adult for people who have difficulty sleeping, because I've seen commercials. The weighted blanket helps people just sleep.
Mom and Elaine got me one for Christmas for my
Really?
birthday. For my birthday, yeah, and I love it.
A weighted blanket. Okay.
Yep.
And I keep the head like
because
sometimes
of my restless leg,
Yeah.
like the restless leg stuff, which I don't have anymore because of the medications I'm off. But having that weighted blanket, like it's fun. It's a hell of a lot of weight, quite frankly, because I'm like, I have it in
You
the
just can't
living
even
room.
move.
Well, because I have it in the living room, and
You
then
gotta
I'm like,
drag
oh,
it
I want to
across.
bring it to the room. I'll go get my wagon.
Uh,
You know, because it's like, good God, it's just
and
bulky.
sometimes I
It's
turn out the
bulky.
air conditioning just to have the
Yeah.
comforter, my comforter on because I just like
Yeah.
the way that feels.
Right.
But you got to crank down the air conditioning because it's hella hot.
Well, and this isn't really hot. That's what I liked as well because I get warm.
Oh, like
real
118.
easy.
I sleep in the daytime, so
Right.
118 degrees.
Right. Yeah.
Everything
But
is
this,
hot.
I mean, because folks with autism and or anxiety, again, will pull. It doesn't matter if they are feeling like super ramped up. People will grab couch cushions and put them over them. People will grab laundry if it's there. Just any extra pressure, any extra.
Well, again, with dogs, if your dogs are freaking out, you
That's
just
right.
hold your dog,
Hold them tight.
and that calms them down.
Yeah.
Now on Netflix,
Anyway,
there's
yeah.
have you seen Atypical? Very clever.
Oh, that one's
I've
super cute. I think it's
Heard
getting
of
another
it. I
season
feel
2.
like you had brought
Yeah.
that up. You guys had.
That's
I
very
don't
good.
know.
And then
Yeah.
there's one called written and directed by. It's called Special. Let me see if I can. 14 or 15 minutes per episode. Let me search this to make sure I'm giving you the right name. He has cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
Oh, I have seen.
Special, yes.
I haven't seen that, but I've seen him interviewing.
Yes, so he's the
So
writer,
it's really something.
writer,
Yeah.
star.
Yeah. He's funny.
Very funny, a coming out story of a special needs.
Yep.
And there's no one like acting or being offensive, pretending to be anything. He
Right.
really is that person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's very clever and cute.
He was on
and
Trevor Noah, and
yeah.
it just cracked me up.
It's
because of
uncomfortable
him.
at all the right times, but
Right,
the
right.
episodes are like 15 minutes, and
Yeah.
I haven't watched that
he's
one yet.
very like that's an easy watch.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, because like they're 14, 15 minutes.
Oh, that's little.
Yeah, very very brief.
That's fantastic. I had forgotten about that. I saw him on there. I thought he's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Well, there you go.
anyway,
Well, we searched
digress.
that up.
Annette, the Philippines returning Canadian trash, that I don't.
What?
Wait, because it floated over? Is that what? Okay. I've heard of other stories about that, not specific to that. But I watched a thing,
It's a
again,
long way to go.
either
Yeah.
on it was either Facebook or YouTube, or maybe Facebook took me to YouTube, whichever. And I've got to figure out which country it is. It may have been Sweden
Okay.
that has figured out how to incent. It's called like one day, and the whole country of Sweden, all of their trash goes to one place and it's incinerated, which sounds bad to begin with. But then all of the exhaust from the incinerator goes through scrubbers. All of it is contained, and they release less, whatever their carbon footprint and all that stuff is so minimal, but they're so efficient with their disposal that they actually are out of trash.
Oh.
And the generation, the heat from the incinerator runs steam turbines that then produces their electricity. It's this wonderful cycle they've got. I'm like, why the fuck doesn't everybody do that?
Right.
I mean, it was wonderful. They're taking trash from other countries because they've run out. They can't keep the incinerator going enough to build enough steam to run their power because they've run out of trash.
That's
it's fantastic.
wild.
I want to say it is Sweden. And
We have lots. We can send them some.
That's amazing. Well, then the Philippines should just. No, I'm kidding.
That's something.
Yeah, that was very interesting to watch, that little documentary about that. Do we think it's time for the wheel? Can we move on to the wheel?
Sure.
Let's do the wheel of, what do we call it? Wheel of the week. That's what we were calling it, right? Sure. We'll do that. Click on this, put up this, and spin the wheel.
We're calling it 5 minutes worth of work.
Nice.
And the Tiananmen Square anniversary.
It is the anniversary of Tiananmen Square.
How many years?
30.
30 years.
30 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's
Seems like it's longer than that, but that makes sense.
no,
Yeah.
30 years.
Give us the topic again. I'm sorry.
Tiananmen Square
It's the
anniversary.
30th
Oh.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Yep. If you don't know what we're talking about, that means you were just barely old enough to drink. So sorry for you. China's officials have used every tool at their disposal to muzzle criticism of the crimes of their country, specifically the ones committed at Tiananmen Square on June 4th, 1989.
Okay.
Yep.
No.
30th anniversary. And they still do everything that they can to kind of squash any kind of talk
Nothing
about
to
it.
see here.
Right. Right.
And I remember out of context watching that and thinking it was some kind of like some kind of a movie, like, and trying to figure out what I was watching.
What is
Like
this?
I had stumbled across it and I just did not understand.
Sure.
I mean, do we have the image to show of the man?
It was a protest. Students had converged on the square honoring a Chinese reformer who had just died. So it was kind of
Pretty much the
not
plot
even
of
a
Les
protest,
Miserables.
just right,
Yeah.
exactly,
Literally the plot to Les
100%.
Miserables.
And they were demanding political reform, an end to media censorship, and a solution to corruption in their government. And the square grew crowded. Tens of thousands of people were building like statues of liberty and just this mass, like, people pouring into the street. The thing that you like think about and hear about that never happens in America, like, that happened.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And the Chinese government, instead of negotiating or diffusing the situation, they decided to crush it and rolled tanks on their own people. CNN was actually like covering the thing and then went dark.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
they turned it off so that Americans did not watch the Chinese people, the Chinese government roll over their own people with tanks and
This is one of the images
mowed
that I
them
think
down.
most people would associate with
Right,
that is
sure,
just
sure.
this one.
Okay.
yeah, a man with shopping bags just standing facing down a tank of his own government.
And then climbed on top of it.
I
And then
don't
got killed, I'm
remember.
pretty sure. I'm
I
pretty sure
don't.
then they shot him. Like,
Well, I
the
can't
TVs went
imagine
blank and
that
then they
would-
shot
That I
him.
don't
Right,
recall.
right, right.
Yes, and I that's the thing that I never remember because the TVs, as I was trying to figure out what happened, the TVs went black and I really was not understanding.
Oh.
And I think they killed him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That we're watching the last moments of a very brave young person's life.
And does anyone know his name?
I don't.
Isn't that interesting?
I'm
to
sure
think
it's
about that
somewhere,
kind
but
of thing?
I bet China's tried to
Oh,
squash
sure,
that for sure.
Sure. Yeah.
And the tank man.
Yeah, well, and
Very good.
so China has internet censors.
Okay.
And so
Shocking.
a lot of, and still do, like to this
Oh.
day, they're humanitarian.
Unidentified man. Remains unidentified.
Still unidentified.
Wow.
Their internet companies in China say that there's a ferocious campaign to block all searches related to Tiananmen Square in their country. Like, a lot of young people in China have never even heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Okay.
don't even know that it happened.
Isn't that something?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy.
Well, I mean, quite frankly, if douchebag in chief had his way, he would.
He'd do the
right?
same.
He'd do
Sure.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Remember when all that first started, and we made a reference to, is it in Korea, North Korea, where
Yeah.
they do the
military
news?
parades.
Oh,
The
no,
news.
yeah.
Oh, the fake news. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
where,
that is
like,
definitely
that
North
woman
Korea.
reads it and is all, nah, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they came out with a thing where like Kellyanne Conway was reading some shit. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Well, it's
What wasn't Kellyanne? It was
state
somebody
TV.
else.
I thought it was Kellyanne Conway.
No, there was some other.
No, it wasn't.
Blonde liar,
No,
but it
but you're
wasn't
right. It was a
Kellyanne.
blonde, but that's on Trump TV. That's on either there's a website or something. They've
Okay.
got their own thing where she's doing the same thing, putting the happy
Kellyanne?
spin
I
on
really thought
everything.
it was.
It wasn't
Okay.
Kellyanne. Just
Okay.
another blonde
Yeah.
mess. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Isn't that? No, he is called the Tank Man.
Yeah, there
apparently.
is.
Wow.
There are some ideas
Thanks,
of who he
Annette.
might have been.
Really?
There are some guesses as to who he might have been. Some say he was assassinated by firing squad, later arrested. No one has an official story, and yeah, I was just reading through it.
That's something.
Yep.
That is something.
You know somebody knows, but they just can't get
Sure.
the story out because
Right.
they can't
Oh,
get
I'm
out.
sure.
Yeah. Like his family, they're
Yeah.
well aware.
Them.
Right.
Sure.
They probably know.
Unless they were all taken out as well, knowing,
Right.
how that whole shit show went together.
Sure.
Could be.
All right, let's go with the let's spin the wheel again, see what we come up with. I hope we don't. I'm not ready for something yet. Oh no, we have to spin again because Tiana. Oh no, Pride Pandering Month.
Ugh,
Dun, dun.
the worst. I'm about as out and proud as you can get, but June fucking 1st rolls around and I'm like, ugh, fucking rainbow crap everywhere. Fuck
Yep.
you. I'm not
Target
buying.
makes
I'm
a
not
fortune.
buying any of it. I don't want any of your rainbow crap.
Okay.
Stop it. I saw a meme. I saw a meme this week that said, "I'm gay. Just give me the money."
Oh yeah,
That's a
I
great
like that.
idea.
I like
That's
that too.
funny. That is funny.
you're
yes.
supporting
Right.
all the things by giving me cash.
You want to support
Right,
Pride?
right.
$20 my way. I'll
Send
go
it
a
this
long way towards
Sure,
that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Stop buying this rainbow crap and telling me that you're all
Well,
kinds
did
of...
you see in Boston that the 3 men have proposed?
It's on the wheel.
I'll
I
shut
love
up.
it.
then.
Okay.
But I
'cause
do have
don't
to tell
know.
you that a few years ago, I went to the Targets and it was all clearance down to $5. My Pride umbrella
Yeah.
made it all through Italy, and finally, the time of death was called in Florence when everything finally gave in.
Sure.
I still have the Pride flip flops, $5,
Nice.
and the Pride sunglasses were in the suntan bag with the green cheapo ones from the AIDS
Yeah.
walk that made it to the beaches this year. Like that price, it's come in handy in travel.
And you know,
When it
and I'm
goes
all
on
about...
clearance, the umbrella was obnoxious. I got to tell you, the sunglasses, the flip flops, subtle, fun. You
Sure.
really don't know that anybody's wearing Pride flip flops, but that umbrella was way too far. That was, I was like, settle the fuck down. Even I'm not this gay.
And I'm all about
Larry Poppins.
I'm all about a little Larry Poppins like expression, a statement here and there. I'm also all about like capitalist activism, but not all of the rainbow products that you're gonna try and buy are doing
Yeah.
anything for anybody. In fact, a lot of them work against us.
But I like how pissed off people are about the rainbow. Is it Listerine? What's the mouthwash? That's
I think
just
one of
Is
those
it
is coming
Listerine?
out the
the
wrong.
rainbow Listerine, which I mean, so many hidden meanings there.
Who needs this?
Well,
Nobody.
oh.
Well,
If
I
you-
mean, a lot of
if
people
you've
need
done-
some Listerine.
If you've done some stuff that you're proud of, you
Well,
got to rinse your mouth
and,
after.
You know, it's interesting because Anant,
Where'd my list go?
Anant wants Pride stuff, and so we're so used to the fact that
If
we
you
can
want to
have
ride the
those
boat, you got to
things.
talk to the captain. You know what I mean? And you're gonna need a little mouthwash after.
Wow.
Polishing the bar.
Scratching Yoda behind the ears.
If you've been badgering somebody else's witness, you might need
What
some
about a badger?
mouthwash.
Honey badger? What?
Badgering somebody else's witness. I'm badgering my own for years.
Just trying to work them all in by the end of the show.
Oh, yes.
Strong work.
Be a
You know,
fan.
Anant, I get it, and there was a time when I couldn't buy enough rainbow crap.
Yep.
But
I think
now
that's
it
because
feels
we can get
really-
a lot of it. I wonder
Yeah.
if Anant
And when I
cannot
wanted
and
a lot of
wear it.
rainbow crap, the only place I ever saw them was Pride.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd been to like 2. I was like,
And
holy crap,
And
so
it's
also,
fun
many
that
people.
Anant can answer. Anant may be the only person that can answer this,
Right.
but at the same time, is that something that you can wear, Anant? That you can display? That
Right.
you can be proud of and display? Or is that something just for you?
Oh my god, I had a necklace that I
that
thought
you
was
want.
blowing everyone's mind.
I love
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they were all just rolling their eyes going, yeah, we know.
Yeah, right.
And you really kind of when you don't realize how like when we went to Jose's house the other day with the flag, and I'm like, oh, fun. He's got the like
Right.
which house is his?
I
and
turned
like,
the corner,
yeah,
I'm like,
look at
wait, which house? Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
giant pride
Got
flag.
it.
Found his house.
That one.
So I mean, that's one of those things that you're kind of announcing yourself. The neighborhood, always fun. Or if you're business, saying you're welcoming, whatever. But then like seriously, like walking around
Paris.
Venice, I
Venice.
was like, I'm really not trying to make a political, just a person who's wet today. Like, I really don't have anything to say about homosexuality or anything. And I'm like, and I hope I'm not like stirring something up because I'm really just trying to stay out of the rain.
Right.
I just brought a political umbrella with me, and it's one of those things that you kind of like, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, it didn't say fuck Trump or something on it. I mean, it's just a rainbow.
again, but if I opened up fuck Trump, it'd be like, well, now I really want to
Right.
fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so
Right.
not that you want to fight, but like, oh, I don't really want to talk about being gay. I feel like a drowned rat right now. Like, can I just be the girl with the rainbow umbrella? Can it just mean nothing?
Yes.
There's that.
Yes.
All right, we'll spin again, see what happens.
Thank you, Annette.
Ah, the declaw
The
law.
declaw law.
Yes, that's a big one in the news too.
It
I
is
do
a
not
big
know
one.
this.
Well, my goodness, cats have won a major victory
Meow.
in New York.
Well, there you have it.
That's
Okay.
right. And you know what? And I've had quite a few cats declawed.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
you didn't
In
know
my
about
life.
this already.
No, just happened today. The lawmakers in Albany, New York, passed a ban on cat declawing.
Okay.
Putting the cat. I mean, I think we just need the governor to sign it. But putting the state on the cusp of being the first to outlaw the procedure. The bill, which has been fought for years by some veterinary groups, would outlaw several types of declawing surgeries, except in cases of medical necessity, and forbid such surgeries for cosmetic or aesthetic reasons.
The cats have more fucking rights than women do in most states.
Isn't that funny?
Because that clause,
You're
in
right.
case,
You're right.
except what, medical emergency?
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
It sounds
Wow, you're
Sounds
right.
awfully like abortion laws,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
yeah, it really does.
But
Should we talk about the elephant in the womb?
yeah.
right.
That is funny.
It's my
Yep.
favorite, my new favorite shirt. I wore it to rent.
Oh,
Yeah, people were like walking by. A couple people like, what?
yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I
like it.
like it.
Yeah, the opponents to declawing for a long time have said that it's traumatic to the cat and it's unnecessary and it's
Now
it's
can we
the
ban
equivalent of
circumcision?
Inhumane.
Can that go on the list? Can men?
cats first.
Can we?
Cats
Nope,
That's right.
cats first.
Stop.
Pussy first.
Can we stop?
Well, not in some states.
Yeah. We've got to stop doing that to babies.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
that's
agree.
got to go too.
Oh.
All right.
Just cruel.
We'll spin it. See what we got. If we can get one more out of this, I think we'll be.
Get as many as you want. You just go down the list.
Oh, this.
Oh. Come on.
Say anything you
Just
want
a
about
shit
it.
show.
Anything.
Now
The
somebody did
tux is my
explain.
favorite. The tux
Yeah.
is my
Oh,
favorite.
that is shaped like a penis. What?
It has landed on
what-
the royal visit.
The royal
incidentally.
visit. Okay. So what is it about Camilla and the wink? Like, is it just that she knows he's a pig,
So
or is this like one?
I just read that she winked like behind him something at someone, but I
right,
don't know anything
I
about
saw
it.
the video. She's looking at her security staff.
Okay.
And the supposed backstory was that
Take him out.
no,
Take him
just
out.
Yeah, right?
just
Take
some
him
kind
out.
just some
Wink
kind of
one
a
time.
signal, like, you know, do you feel like do we need to rescue you kind of a thing?
Yeah.
And she was just being a shit about, like, you could see the look in her eyes. She's just being a shit about it and
Oh, okay.
making
Love
fun
it.
of them. And it's
The Queen's
fantastic.
like 007, make it look like an accident.
Right.
That's funny.
And but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
the
love
Camilla Wink thing is
the-
fantastic.
Yeah.
the flyover of the penis on the lawn or whatever
Oh
it was.
yes, and the polar bear and,
the Madame Tussauds having the Obama and Trump
Yes.
approval ratings up on the
Did you see?
wall.
Did you see this one?
They displayed that on the
Oh,
tower.
Yeah.
that's
He's
the
got
one
his
that I
Burger
said that
King
I
crown
think
on.
That is hysterical.
That's
God.
good photoshopping
Yeah,
right there.
it
In the,
really is.
in the
Funny.
penis tux.
The
Did you
penis
see
The
that?
penis tuck. You can't,
Yes.
you can't not see it
You
now.
can't not
Yeah.
see it.
Yep. Oh, so
Oh.
good.
Why
He
can't,
just is so.
why can't the
fucking
man
dumb.
buy a suit?
Just
And
dumb.
I mean, I love
And
I have-
bringing all of his fucking adult children who are just morons.
Oh, I read a
oh,
story
the
about
Shining picture is
Oh,
hysterical.
because the Queen did not
I
invite
didn't
them.
see
that.
the
No, didn't
Shining
invite
picture.
them.
I
They
didn't
were
see
not
it.
But
officially
he
invited.
wants to be treated like royalty, so he brings his family so they can all be the royal. Oh God, it was just reading it just creeped
So
me out.
gross.
So gross.
And
So
why do
gross.
you think? Why did he bring the extra kid? Because he doesn't do anything with Tiffany.
Tiffany,
Trump.
was Tiffany there too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
wow! I just saw
mean,
the.
he
I
bought
just see the dead
special ed
couple.
one and
Yeah, the dead couple looking out the window of The Shining. Have you seen the picture of Ivanka and Jared
Wait,
looking
no,
out the
his
window?
his
Stop
staff.
it.
The
No.
picture of his staff is better. Wait, look at this. Because I took a screenshot of it.
Stop it.
Just don't Google show me a picture of his staff. That's
no,
gonna
I
go
don't.
wrong
No,
too.
no. Oh God.
No, this one creeped me out so bad. It's probably gonna flip on its side. I'll send it to Clayton so the other peoples can see it too.
right.
Oh.
I'll
my
do that
God.
immediately.
There are so many things that I
Oh, yeah,
have
oh.
not seen.
Ugh. Isn't that a horror movie like waiting to happen
Yeah,
right
that
there?
really is.
Here, we're gonna.
She'll send it to me. I'll show
And
you.
they'll put it on the screen for the people that watch from home. We're gonna rotate that. Thank you. Then we're gonna do that. Now I'm Clayton McKee. Apparently, I'm gonna
Talking
click
through
this.
it
I'm
all.
gonna talk through.
Hey,
And then we're gonna
whatever,
hit
whatever
send.
gets you to the
Then we're gonna
dance.
type Clayton
Good
McKee
goals.
and send. And his phone's about to go ding. Right.
And now it's gonna
Now.
say, "What is that?"
What is this? What
What
did you
is
send
this?
me?
What'd
I
you
don't
send
know.
me?
What are you
What
doing?
are you doing?
So we've all been
suddenly-
here.
wow, no assholes.
And somehow at the end he's Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
We went
Hey,
through so
hey,
many accents.
hey,
We had to
hey.
land on Joe Pesci. They fuck you
What are
through
you-
the drive-thru.
What are you doing? Like I'm some kind of a clown to you?
Yeah.
What am I funny to
So
you?
this is the picture of them. That's what you're talking about?
So creepy.
Yeah, they really look like they died there. Now they're hunting.
She's wearing that goddamn green dress again that you told her not to because it's chroma key and they can superimpose shit over her.
Oh God, it is.
That's that same green dress.
Oh, what an opportunity for
that's
shenanigans.
great.
The internet has loved that dress for a long time.
Oh my gosh, yes.
All right, spin it one more time.
Sure.
That stupid bitch.
Spin it 7 more times. Who
Stupid.
cares?
I can't. Ugh.
I have to click on so many things to make stuff happen. Wait, click this, do that, da-da. Here we go. Fuck you, people.
Oh no, what's happening?
Oh, we
just happened?
did that. Do it again.
The downside of the wheel, it doesn't remember what we've already
Nope.
clicked on.
Yeah, it should black. It'd be, if we could just make it black out the things.
I'm gonna work on that.
Cheese and rice.
Why don't we just pick
Why don't we
something
just
that's
pick
on
the
there that
ones
we,
that it has
we
there?
could just pretend?
Helicopter!
I knew there was one more thing I wanted to see.
Yes, well, this.
Let me paint the picture.
Go ahead, do it.
So
Go
a
ahead.
hiker in the desert mountains of Arizona at 100 degrees. Was she older, like 70?
90, 74.
74-year-old hiker gets hurt in the middle of the desert. Our deserts and our hiking trails are inaccessible by many roads, so a lot of times you got to be evac'd out of there by helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
This poor woman is having a bad enough day when whatever happens.
Her knee.
And
She had a knee injury.
she hurt her knee, and then a helicopter comes to what we're going to call save her?
Yeah.
Please roll tape. And yeah, watch this shit.
Yeah, this. Do we preface it by saying the woman is okay?
No.
I'm not sure she's ever gonna be,
Be okay, yeah.
She's fine. All right. So, this happens. Just hang with us. Watch here.
They're like lifting her up, and all of a sudden she catches some wind and starts to spin
And
like a
that's
top.
and that's slow for how fast she gets
Oh my
going.
god, she
my
starts fucking
God.
whipping around. It's so bad. Just spinning, spinning,
Yeah,
spinning.
this
I'd
goes
have
on for
thrown
quite
up
a while.
twice by
My
now.
God. Somebody
And I like
set
that
her
now they're
ass
lowering her.
down.
Like, are you
Well,
giving up?
No, because lowering her takes her out of the
Yeah,
wash
yeah.
from the props. The lower it usually stabilizes it.
Oh my God, put her on the ground already, for God's sake.
No, you can't drop her
can't-
like that.
you-
No, because she'll crack her head on a rock, and now
Right.
she'll be just
Well-
brain
Oh,
dead.
now she's going to go the other way.
Well,
So
yeah,
then they
but-
tried to bring
oh.
it back up
Tried to
quickly,
bring her up quick.
and they couldn't. And that entire
Oh my God.
apparatus is actually on a swivel. It's made to swivel, but there's supposed to be a
my
tether
God.
that somebody on the ground holds that stable. And I guess that
Oh, this
broke.
video is only like
They
halfway
called
done.
in
It's still
sick.
going.
They called in sick.
So then they
How is she not throwing up
I bet she
everything?
is.
they said that when they got her to the ambulance, she was just dizzy, but she was fine.
I can believe it.
I mean, she's now
She's on a
member of
ride
Cirque du
from
Soleil.
hell.
Yeah. Pink performed today in
Yeah.
the desert below a helicopter.
So
She's also gone through astronaut certification.
so what happens is when they're in the mountain
Look at
ranges.
She goes
Oh
zero.
my God.
That is 0 G's right
so
there.
fucking
That's
fast.
crazy.
She can't tell her ass from her elbow right here. Right
This is
there.
the worst ride
She's
at the
probably-
fair.
Now-
Oh my God.
Going
if I had
back
just
to
stayed
what,
on the path.
but going back to what we were saying earlier, she's packed in this. She's swaddled in
Oh,
this
yeah,
entire
yeah,
yeah. Oh.
apparatus where she's just tucked in there.
I don't
She
care if you
still has a
swaddle a
headache.
baby to like almost turning blue. You
Right.
spin them like that.
So
you got
then,
a vomiting.
what they
shitting
did is they
baby.
then take her out. They
Oh,
just start
God.
flying away because that'll stabilize it, which it winds up doing that.
Now the show goes on tour.
Oh my God.
But they later had a press conference where the fire, the rescue, all the people show up and talk about how this happens and what happened. The woman's okay. Now, what I'm waiting for, though, is because she'll be released from whatever hospital. Somebody knows who the fuck this is.
Yeah.
And they will interview her.
And I have a lawyer.
Right. Right.
If she didn't before, she should now.
Because you just show the jury that, and they're going to be like, oh, could we just sign the check? What do
Just
you want?
give her some money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit.
We'll
Oh
see.
my God. That's ridiculous.
A woman was rescued today?
Rescued? Right. Yeah.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah. I feel like she just spun around a lot.
She did.
Oh
we
my
picked
God.
we picked up Grandma and played the best game.
Oh my God. That's terrible.
Well.
The fuck, Nan? The fuck? That's funny.
Yes.
Not a good day for her.
No.
Not.
No. My God. Terrifying.
Will she forget it though? No.
Well,
No.
She probably still has
true.
a headache from that. I would think. But that's just an opinion.
All right. Good job, guys. I think
Anyhow,
we solved it.
I think we've saved a lot of people's lives
We
here.
sure did. We sure
Maybe
did.
not. Maybe so.
Oh.
One or two. That's all we need.
What happened? What?
Now I'm trying to find this movie, and I know now I know
No.
what's going wrong. I'm confusing it with one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Well, that happens as you get older.
Yeah, Dirty Pretty Things, fabulous movie. Biggest what the fuck twist in movie history.
The which one?
Dirty Pretty Things.
There it is.
He's talking. You can't hear him because he
Oh,
backed
the
all the way away
dirty.
from his microphone. but-
Dirty Pretty Things.
Got
Okay.
it. Anywho, everybody in the chat room was very active. Thanks. Well, Annette did most of the heavy lifting in the chat room, but Joe was there. My mom was there. Annette.
Bear was there,
Bear was there
Harrison.
for a while. Harrison is gone already, but yay for everybody being there.
Thank you, guys.
As we wrap up tonight's show, let's leave you with this parting thought. We will see you next Tuesday.